All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Limeade 4.0 benefiting Jaguar King. We are at the end of day one. We're about to have one final run by our pal, good pal, Vermillion. He's going to be running Final Fantasy X cutscene remover with RNG fix. Take it away, my friend.
All right, thank you, Apache. Hello guys, I'm Vermillion. I just started playing this game, FF10, with this category, and I'm really excited. I have with me Airlian.
Hey guys, what's up? Been running this game a couple years, and I'm gonna be on commentary for y'all.
Yep, and it's gonna be a really, really hype run. So first of all, I'm gonna select new game, select standard sphere grid, and we're gonna select original music. And time will start when I say yes on the screen. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you. All right, so Airlian, if you wouldn't mind talking about what RNG fix is and like what it does for the run.
So contrary to what the name might suggest, it doesn't make the RNG fixed. It rather repairs the RNG in that it makes it actually random. This game is pretty broken as of recent times, where you can actually track the RNG when playing normally and manipulate it to basically do your bidding. You can get whatever drops you want, you can have the fights go however you want them, but RNG fix takes out that step and has it be more of a traditional speedrun, in that you just have to react to what you get and play around randomness as normal.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because like whenever you think of RNG fixed, you're like, okay, well that makes it so like the RNG's fixed, you know, or like it's like a set seed, but like no, this is like literally the opposite of what you think it was. It would be.
It avoids the set seed altogether.
Yep. Which is crazy. If you watch like an any percent run, like you can know almost anything that's gonna happen to you in the whole entire run. It's kind of wild, actually. All right, so we have our first part of the run where we're just attacking.
Yeah, we've already skipped like 20 minutes of content.
Yeah, in non-fixed RNG runs, you have a wizard on hands at all times to tell you what's about to happen in the run. So it's kind of like two-player.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, if you guys have noticed, like we're using cutscene remover. It removes like all the cutscenes in this game, so we're gonna be zooming through this game as fast as like you've ever seen it before.
It takes out 5.5 hours plus of quote-unquote content, so you don't have to spend your entire day running Final Fantasy X.
Yeah, like you can actually push out attempts instead of like when you're playing like a full game run, which is like around 9 hours ish, 9 to 10 hours, which is kind of like a big run. All right, your first boss Ames, not the MGS2 Ames.
Not Richard.
Yeah, not Richard.
This is the introduction of overdrives. If you're familiar with like Final Fantasy VII, it's basically your limit break. You have to do a quick time event and actually nail it so you can get the full damage.
Yeah, true.
So basically, the only way you can save considerable time here is if you get critical hits with your two characters. It's like roughly 8%. It depends on the enemy, it depends on the party member. But your overdrive can also land a critical hit, which is like massive. But you didn't get any here. So basically, just mashing X. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, getting Orin crit there is like one of the best feelings, because like Orin does like more damage than Titus, and then landing a crit with them just feels like you get so much damage. Saving like a lot of time in this run. Like getting a crit here is like a bonus, because like you don't expect to get crits here in this section. Maybe one, maybe two, but like if you land like one, you feel so good.
Oh, that's one. Perfect.
Yeah, I think it ends like here.
We got trolled a little bit, but if you get a crit with each, that's way better than getting a single crit most of the time, because you can just avoid one whole round of attack.
Yeah, so that was actually a really good aim, honestly, in terms of damage and everything.
So coming up here is the save sphere. Unlike past Final Fantasy games, or like I guess a lot of RPGs, just merely interacting with the sphere completely restores your HP and mana. So this is a little bit of a turn order exploit. We're going to be switching weapons with Titus, and Auron's going to hit himself. There is a purpose behind this. He doesn't want to interact with the enemies because he'll make a bunch of unneeded animations and stuff happen. And now that he's swapping weapons with Titus, he notices this tanker over here, so we don't have to deal with the tanker incident. Normally, Auron gives you a really long tutorial on, you know, attacking things that aren't necessarily enemies. Not only that, it's upgraded to like 40 seconds of time loss because you have to hit it 5 times instead of 3. No idea why it's like that.
Yeah, it's really weird. If Auron notices the tanker first, it's like you lose a lot of time. Which when I started running this game, I accidentally did it one time, and I was like, oh no. He just keeps talking.
Yeah, you don't realize how bad it is. Like, you're usually just like following guides, and you're like, why do we do things this way? And then you try and do it the other way, and it's like, that's a minute of my life gone.
Yep. So,
part of the cutscene remover like causes the music to bug out in a bunch of places, so you get this awesome like battle music that you wouldn't normally have here.
Oh, that's so much fun.
It's funny. So so the reason why we switch weapons there in that fight in that order is because switching weapons is actually the weakest option you can do in terms of actions. So the stronger your action is, like the lower your turn order. I mean, your next turn will be. So we want to have Titus switch weapons so there's more actions being done, and his turn order doesn't like go all the way down. So we're gonna see that a lot in this run. Switching weapons is actually like a really important thing for a lot of these fights, which is cool.
So we're coming up to our first encounter here. Most of the encounters in this game are random, but this one is a fixed encounter. However, what's not predetermined is whether you get a preemptive or an ambush. 1 in 8 chance for both. And a lot of the time, it can be a thorn in your side to get an ambush. The optimal thing you want here is a preemptive, so you get 2 turns before these enemies. You get 1. Let's see, we get ambushed, which is the worst. Now you have to watch this.
That is the worst possible thing that could happen. That's so funny.
I like how that sets the scene for how this run's going to go.
So we lose a little bit of time. We want an ambush on the next one, not a preemptive. It's swapped, that'd be really funny. Because we want to lose this boss as fast as possible. It's normal. Okay.
Yeah, this boss always does half of your damage, or half of your health and damage, and you just wait it out.
This enemy is so disgusting that it makes me feel uncomfortable just looking at it.
It's really gross.
Okay, so we're setting cursor to memory and aeons to short. Cursor memory is something that if you're not used to it, it can really trip you up, but basically it makes it so whatever your last action was you picked in battle, the game will remember that. It'll even remember down to the item you were using, or the specific spell you were casting, or even the position of the enemy you were last attacking. So let's say, like, there's 3 enemies, you kill enemy number 3 and it gets replaced. Then it'll stay locked onto enemy number 3 instead of going to one of the ones that were still on screen. So that'll be used a little bit later on.
Yeah, cursor memory really just helps us like not have to think about all of our actions every single time.
It helps if you're going to do the same thing 5 times as well. Like you can just mash X the whole time.
Exactly. All right, now we got our first boss, kinda. Besides aims, obviously. So here we want to get a dodge or a crit. We didn't get any of them, so we're gonna have to heal Titus, which is unfortunate. A little bit of time loss, but it's fine. Now Riku joins us. Gonna be throwing a grenade, and we want a crit grenade. Very rare to get, but if it happens, that'd be super hype. Nope.
So we're starting with healing with Riku. Riku does less DPS overall because we need to be saving the grenades that Riku's gonna go for. So it's a 1 in 8 that you steal 2 grenades at once, and now that he's stolen 1 grenade, it's a 50-50 on whether he gets the next grenade. So he got the 50-50, he has 2 grenades, he's gonna have to heal Titus again because he's getting bullied.
This is really sad. He really hates Titus right now.
We're basically gonna be stocking grenades until Verm has a count of 6, so he'll be prepared for a boss coming up later.
Some nice crits though. Very nice. And there you go. First, there's a click, name of the boss. Done with. Big thing for that fight is you really don't want Titus to be getting hit over and over again. Want Riku to take some of it, but it's fine. Getting 2 grenades there is also really good because that sets our grenade count up correctly. Right.
So this is the chain. It's possible to not get a single encounter on here, but it's pretty rare, and it's not always beneficial because enemies over here also have grenades, and Verm needs to be stocking up still.
There's no way. There's no way. I just got it.
How do you change? Okay, great. Awesome. So he's going to have to risk a 50-50 before the boss, basically.
Yeah. That legitimately never happens in any of my runs. That's actually wild.
An encounter there, like avoiding it saves about 20 seconds, but it makes coming up just more risky. And it is nice if Titus gets AP, which is this game's equivalent for experience, but it's not really that big a deal.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, it is possible for Vermillion to die, which is obviously super bad, but it's also like really funny as well. So.
Alright, so we have to go for another steal on this fish here. Hopefully get it. Thank God.
Alright.
You shouldn't steal from fish, but you might get grenades, so you never know what the fish is holding.
Yeah, if next time you see a fish in the water, check to see if the grenades in them.
Yeah. Pull that salmon out, take its hand grenade.
Alright, so thankfully it was the first check, and we also really gotta be careful about our sphere count in this game. We need to hit a certain threshold to beat the game, and so we got 2 there, which is really good. Getting early speed spheres is always beneficial. We need 16 to beat the game, non-guaranteed speed spheres. And the routes and the leveling in this game is very, very tight. Like, you really need to make sure you hit these thresholds or else you cannot beat the game. Because some boss fights will just gatekeep you. Alright, next we have our next boss, which is Tross. And a preemptive. Okay.
So this can turn out good or just neutral. Getting a preemptive on this boss is not the biggest deal, because there's a little bit of a tech with the damage rolls you get, so you can get below 350 damage on a grenade, and that makes this boss do this little part of his cycle delayed, so that you can keep him in the same spot for longer. But since you got a preemptive, you're gonna have to deal with it just normally. But when he comes back around, he can go for that same strategy I mentioned, and if he gets below 350, he can defend the Titus, and then the boss will just stay here and do a normal attack.
Yeah, we gotta hope for below 350 right now? Oh.
Nah. Okay, so this fight's like your average fight. Unlucky.
Yeah. It's fine though. Just we missed chains. We got chain skip, so that basically evens out.
I'd say so.
So nice. I mean, I'm just happy about chain skipping in this marathon. That's actually wild. It's pretty cool.
Chain skip. I'm happy about the 4-fish ambush coming up.
Oh no! Don't talk about that. All right. So basically, in the speedrun, we've learned that we just do not like fish at all because fish really lose a lot of time.
Fish
Getting
are
ambushed by
terrible.
fish, yeah. Getting ambushed by fish, having the fish go first just does not feel good. Alright, so you guys are gonna see some really janky stuff with the cutscene remover right now. So we're gonna talk to Riku here, and then all of a sudden, text box on the screen, and then we're here.
We just saved about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this section is like Riku says, "Don't tell anyone you're from the Xanacanabes." And literally the very first person he meets afterwards, he's like, I play for the Xanacanabes." It's like, she just told you not to say that, dude.
It's like when later on when Lulu's like, "Don't tell Waka," and he's like, "I gotta tell Waka." And she's like, I told you not to tell him." It's so funny.
And obviously, the other funny thing is everyone's saying that he looks like Wakka's brother, and then you meet Wakka's brother, and he looks nothing like him.
What is that? Not even close. All right, so here we're in the lagoon, and we really want to make sure we get 3 encounters. Oh no, that's a really early encounter. That's a really bad encounter as well. I'm gonna take it. But the fish can really mess you up. They can spend so much time killing. If you get an ambush by 4 fish, which is the worst thing possible, you can lose maybe 30 plus seconds. So we don't want to see that.
Yeah, this is looking like a 3 encounter with how early this was. So there's 3 different formations you can get with fish. You can get 2 fish, 3 fish, or the 4 fish. And having extra experience is nice, but if you get 4 fish, it's actually faster to try and escape from them.
Oh my god. Yeah,
preemptive with 4 fish.
Yeah, we're out of here. It's a preemptive. Okay. Not even gonna worth it.
Usually the little fish, they have more speed than you. Oh, that's the 50-50. Come on, Wakka. Come on, Wakka.
Leave, dude.
That's like the most speedrunner thing I've ever heard in my life. It's like you fight world-ending monsters in this, and you guys are like, yeah, the worst thing that can happen is 4 fish.
Exactly. I feel like you can lose more time on 4 fish than half the 75% of the bosses in this game, honestly. So yeah, we're gonna definitely get a 3rd encounter, which is very unlucky because we get the encounters early. It's another 4 fish. Oh my god. That's
Did anyone else
This is not leaving. This is great. All right, where's the kill fish, guys?
I can still remember the first time that screen shattered and how much it scared me.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool transition for fights.
What was going on with the PS2, when people making screens shatter? Because MGS2 came out around the same time as this. That's got a screen shatter as well.
Oh, nice. So we got 3 power spheres in this game. That's pretty good, actually. That means half of our power spheres are accounted for us of the game.
That's probably the biggest upside of fish. Not even the AP, but getting sphere count for later, because there's only 2 guaranteed speed spheres in the run. Those piranhas can all drop speed, but Vermillion got power. Power is a lot easier to come by, but the bulk of your power sphere count actually comes from critical hitting enemies later on, which you can just get 0.
Yep. Alright, so just more cutscene remover stuff where we watch the cutscene, and then we're out.
It's so weird, you're trying to fill in the blanks in your head of what exactly is going on because you have no context.
Yep.
There's at least one thing memed in every single cutscene in this game.
Actually.
Yeah, you can label the cutscene by their meme, and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's what happens. Great. Stay away from the summoner. Oh yeah, I know that.
The way she says it is so funny.
I played this game when it was new, so I had no idea that everyone else found that hilarious as well. But I genuinely said that for decades afterwards. I would just randomly say it in conversation.
Stay away from the summoner. Seems a fun time. Sure. So right now we're doing cloisters, just some puzzles and stuff. No enemies here or anything, which is good.
This is the tutorial, basically. You're gonna get just a wall of text telling you all about the different obstacles and keys you need to get, but most interestingly, you get to hold a ball, and you can only hold one of these at a time despite having 2 hands. That's just the rules. You just have to listen to the mysterious text.
Yeah, the game says you can't put it anywhere else. You can't. It's got to be put inside a special place, a certain place. Can't put it on the ground. Can't put it in your pocket. Can't put it in your other hand. Because reasons.
So, I don't remember doing these as a kid, but I must have cheated because there's no way I was smart enough to work these out.
Yeah,
a lot of them are just trial and error, honestly.
The one at the end of the game is big brain, gigantic brain.
Yeah, that one probably involved cheating.
Yeah, definitely. Or many hours of just, trying different things and be like, okay, well, hopefully this works. As you ride on a slow elevator, slow like moving platform. All right, so thankfully this one's really short. You guys are gonna see a lot more of these trials throughout the whole entire game, but this is the first one, and it's very short, very easy. More cutscene maneuver stuff. We skipped a lot of cutscenes there, by the way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like, don't go in there, Tidus. And then he goes, nah, it'll be fine.
Yep.
I have become a summoner.
I've done it. I have become a summoner.
Or maybe we'll get the very nice CSR glitch. Huh?
Oh yeah, we might see it. Oh.
Sometimes you'll have Titus just standing next to his bed snoring.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Like he's just standing there and it's like weird. Alright, so we're gonna get our first tutorial fights where it's like Titus kills dogs, Waka kills people that flies, and Lulu kills lambs.
Flans, yeah, it is. It literally is just flans.
Yeah.
Flans and robots, but you don't see any robots in the wild.
Exactly. There's a chance we overkill these, but it's very rare. Probably not gonna happen, yeah.
Even more rare is to have the bird go first, attack
Oh, yeah.
Waka, have it blind Waka, and then when he misses...
That's so sad. It's happened to me before. I'm just like, wait, what'd I do? And the answer is there's nothing you do. You just hope.
Waka misses, and he's like, what? And then Titus tries to attack it because that's literally the only thing you can do, and you get scolded if you miss.
Yeah. Because their evasion's so high for flyers that you're probably not gonna hit them.
Clueless, aren't?
Yeah, the elements in this game, fire, ice, lightning, water, it's not like a wheel, like fire is good against ice and then ice is good against water or something. No, it's like a pairing relationship between the two. Ice and fire, lightning and water, they're all weak to each other. So the only reason I mention that really is because there's going to be a boss way down the line that you have to have knowledge about that for.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not useless tech.
Alright, so in this next boss, we want to make sure we count correctly. Okay, never mind. We're good. Never mind.
Let's just get a crit.
Yeah, never mind. We don't care anymore. What are you saying, Patrick?
I was just going to say, yeah, Lulu, we play Pokemon, we know what we're doing here.
Exactly. Okay, two crits! Alright! He's dead on this hit, by the way. Okay, that is one of the fastest Kamaris I've ever had in my life. This is a run already. So yeah, with the RNG fix, we just don't know what RNG we're gonna get, so things can happen. We just
Roll
don't
the
know.
dice. Roll the dice on it.
Yep. This is the longest normal fight in the entire game. So we're gonna switch in for Yuna. Because we gotta get tutorials for everything at the beginning of the game.
Your first real.
Show us what you're.
Summon Veil for it. We're gonna thunder this enemy for approximately 10 years until it dies. And this is useful because we build Veil 4's Overdrive, which is very useful for a boss coming up.
Yeah, unlike the characters you play as, Valfor actually gets overdrive by attacking as well as getting hit. It's pretty insane how fast you can build it.
And we're doing a new route. So before we would actually use Valfor a lot in the run.
Yeah, back at the village, there's a dog that is somehow holding an overdrive in its mouth, and you would teach that to Valfor, and it does a lot more damage than the default overdrive, but the problem is it takes a while to get. You have to go out of your way to get it. So it was only worth it back when Valfor was used a lot more. Valfor would be used against one of the bosses that we're skipping by employing the new route. So it's really not worth getting. The normal overdrive's just fine.
Yeah, definitely. Just we don't have to go back and stuff like that. And it's really interesting because this new route's only been here for about a month. It seems like longer, but it's Really, it's only been really like a month. Really cool. We'll show the new skip and everything coming up when it happens. So I'm gonna Spirit Grid Titus in a new ability. And do not get the shield.
Yeah, never get the shield. If you've never seen this game before, you're probably like, what did I just see? What is the skill tree? The sphere grid is one of the defining things about this game's run. It's like very customizable in how you can level up. We'll be taking a lot of shortcuts through the grid and accessing areas that like you wouldn't normally see in a casual playthrough. But he also swapped Waka out of the team, and that's because there's another tutorial here trying to get you to use Dark Attack on this thing, this bird. And
oh my god!
Ooh, yes!
Oh my lord!
Nice.
Yeah, so each of those escapes is literally a 50-50, and we got all of them. But yeah, like as Erling was saying, we don't want to walk a tutorial for Dark Attack. It's not worth it. We don't really care about that kind of stuff. And we want to escape, and we did. Sometimes it can take a really long time, so that's pretty cool. Like I like me and you have definitely been like sitting there for like a minute almost, being like, well, can Lulu escape now? Can Yuna escape now?
They're just constantly tripping over their shoelaces, bro.
Exactly.
And Lulu tripping over her belts.
Yeah.
Alright, we're about to get on the ship and advance to the next island. We need to hit that save sphere because Valifor has no MP, and we're going to be using Valifor for the bulk of the next boss fight. Are you going to get Stunning Steel?
Nope.
Alright, so normally a lot of runners would talk to that red pants gentleman back there with no shirt. You get 400 gil from him, and that's to have an early shopping trip to pick up a weapon, but we'll be skipping that for this route. We'll talk about it when we get to the boss that's used for.
And you guys are about to see the most disgusting transition to a cutscene right now coming up. Get ready. Very gross. Every time I see that, I'm like, it's so nasty. Alright, so the turn order can be kind of weird. This is fine. I want to zap this Finn, and then now we're going to summon Yuna and just basically use Valifor for the whole entire fight.
This fight and the last fixed encounter are two instances where Yuna can actually go before Titus, so you just have to be ready for that. You have to react. You can't just auto-defend, or else you might put yourself into a hairy situation. So, like, if Yuna went first, then you would just swap the order in which he performed actions. So 1096 is like your average roll. That means he's almost definitely not going to under-damage this boss.
Yeah, it's very possible to under-damage boss. It's happened to me before, and it really sucks.
Yeah, we're fighting Sin. He kind of represents the unstoppable force of natural disasters in the real world. You can never defeat him. That's what the game's about.
He's also just a floating fin right now.
Yeah, if you just look at... If you ever look at this boss on the HD, it's just a floating fin. It's not connected to anything. It's really funny.
Yeah. And when you actually see Sin, he's crazy disappointing. When you think about how like cool some of the stuff looks in this game, like seeing Anima for the first time, and Sin is just a big fish.
Yeah. Alright, so there's a chance we can skip another one of these cutscenes. It's very dependent on Kumari's speed, I'm pretty sure. And we got it, wow! That's really good. That's about 15 seconds of time save. That's very, very good for RNG.
Normally you'd have to watch the fin go to the right side of the ship, but not this time. Just take it out while it's in front. And then we're going to be plopped into another boss fight back to back. So one of the nodes that Vermillion picked up on the sphere grid was an ability called Cheer. It basically just raises your party's strength by 1. We're going to be using Dark Attack to blind the boss, so it doesn't hit Drain Touch. If it hits too many Drain Touches, then it can actually survive when it would normally die. So the fact that it life steals is the biggest problem, so we're just going to mitigate any risk by blinding it. But it is very, very unlikely that your Dark Attack can miss and the status will not be inflicted.
It's very, very rare, but it's happened to me before. Like a lot of things in this game, like they shouldn't happen, but like sometimes they just happen. And also, this is a great time if we can get crits as well, because if you get a crit during this fight, you can save like one of these cycles of attacks. It's great. Very rare though. Alright, so we have one more set of attacks, and then we're gonna finish it off with Titus's Overdrive.
The fish are so mad that we stole all their grenades before they come back to get us.
That's what they're here for.
Yeah, there's no cutscene, so we can just make the story up. It's fine.
Yeah.
So we're going to be introduced to a mechanic in this game called Overkill. Now that Vermillion did a huge amount of damage to the boss, he hit its Overkill threshold with the final blow, meaning he gets bonus drops and he gets bonus AP, and that's going to be abused a lot through like the midpoint in the run. It's really, really helpful that you're able to do this. Otherwise, the route would look a lot different. So, did you get a blue arm guard or a white arm guard?
I got a blue arm guard, which is really good actually.
That enemy or that boss drops randomly useful stuff. He can drop water resistant armor, and the arguably better is the ice based weapons, because the enemies coming up in the next area are weak to ice. But since he didn't get one, Waka will have an item in that forest that can exploit the enemy's weaknesses and get more resources out of them.
Yeah, so this next part, Kilika Woods, we really want to make sure we get as many speed spheres as possible. It's kind of the biggest point, and a lot of EXP. But some encounters we do not want to take. Definitely with this enemy, but this is a tutorial boss enemy, we have to take it, so might as well kill it.
The only variance in this fight is what turn order you get. So this is the bad turn order, where he's going to lance it, he's going to learn the ability, get full overdrive, and then just swap to Waka and get him AP. The best is when Lulu goes before this Regora here, because you don't have to watch it do an attack.
Yep. Where sometimes you can get this fight in the tutorial to start without it attacking. It's really funny. You're just like, what?
Okay, picking up equipment for Waka. Combine this with a sphere grid menu. We're gonna get probably the most useful ability. Being able to escape with your entire party at a guaranteed rate. It's called Flee, and you're gonna be seeing it a lot, and you're gonna be enjoying some lovely voice lines.
Literally, just the whole game can be summed down to like Titus's voice lines in this with Flee.
Okay, so this is a good encounter we got here. We got B and Element. The B is really nice because it guaranteed drops speed spheres, which you need for later on, and the Elemental is nice too because of we're kind of XP hungry at this juncture.
Yeah, we want to hit level 5 before we leave the woods on the way out. It's not that big of a deal if we don't, but it's just a really big bonus if we can. And we got ambushed. All right, good start.
Getting ambushed here is like, it's not that common for runners, but it can be really deadly. Like this guy right here.
Oh my god.
Whoever that lizard targets, it can just mean death. You can get petrified, meaning you get turned to stone and you can't do anything, and you miss out on XP. Or it can go on Lulu and silence her and she can't kill the elemental. It's ugly.
Yeah, it's very ugly, but we want that encounter as much as possible, honestly. It's just not an ambush.
Yeah,
this is like it's like old RPG design, like Japanese, especially out of like Japanese games, where they're just ruthlessly hard and have situations where you just get absolutely destroyed, like your mage being silenced when it's the only one who can kill an elemental. It's like, it's such an old school design that you don't really see anymore.
Yeah, it's true. It's funny. It's like definitely all those enemies were designed to be killed by like a certain person, you know.
We'll be swapping in Yuna. We're gonna have another boss fight, And hopefully Titus goes first. Yep, that's good. He gets XP. I guess I didn't mention earlier that in order to get XP for these fights, you just have to perform an action, like anything. Switch weapon, defend, hit the boss, heal someone. You get full XP if you do that. The XP in this game isn't divided amongst the people who are involved in the fight. It's rather like everyone gets full servings of XP. So that's exploited a lot as well.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing that a lot. So certain characters get EXP when like they would normally do nothing in the fight. This is the funniest move in the game, by the way. It's a funny sound effect. I love it.
Funny sound effect, funny name.
Yep. How are my spheres looking right now, by the way?
You have 9 and 4, so pretty good.
Oh, that's really good.
Like, even though
Luckily,
we're playing RNG fix, we still need a wizard on hand to keep track of things.
Yeah, mine is using live splits counter add-on. So I don't know exactly how many spheres I have. It saves a lot of time actually, than just like being like, do I have enough? Yeah, and another overdrive to get overkill on this boss. It's gonna be a lot of EXP for Titus, which is the biggest reason we do it.
With an added bonus of 2 extra power spheres. Sometimes we would pop off over what that boss drops. If it drops a blinding weapon, those sell for a lot, but it's not really important on non-stunning steel route.
And who here likes puzzles? It's time.
Who likes being inches away from fire and just being okay with it?
Yeah, true.
This is another moment where they say, don't go in there, and Titus goes, I'm going in.
Yeah, they just grab him and just toss him in there. I think it's funny because, like, we don't get to see the best NPC in the game, Vixen. He's just, it's a funny guy. Voiced by Raiden, by the way. It's great. Alright, so we're just gonna input our balls in here. Burn this. But yeah, this trial is pretty straightforward. Luckily, still kind of early game.
I'd say the only weird thing is having to put this ball on the side and then go back to the thing you just burned and touch it, because it looks like a glyph, and there's a glyph sphere in here, so you'd be like, oh, okay, so I light up the glyph and then I put the glyph sphere there. That's easily how it's done. And you don't expect things to require you to not have something in your hand. So that's the only.
That's like the really only like thing you like don't like touch with your hands. Also, this fun fact: this pedestal right here, that's the only pedestal in the game you can like grab it from like across the pedestal. It's weird.
Yeah, you usually have to be point blank kissing. I'm gonna say kissing the ball, but you're doing that in order to be able to grab them.
Yeah, this trial just is this cloister does like not make sense a lot of parts.
So someone was like, how can we trust these giant beasts, these random people? How will we know that they're worthy? Can they move balls around? Yeah, it's probably fine. Here you go. Here's a giant fucking monster.
Yeah, are they smart enough to like finish this trial with balls and fire? Alright, you're good.
Here you go. Here's an 11-foot monster from hell.
Definitely have balls.
This is my second favorite summon in the whole game. It's so cool. It's the only one we'll actually see him use that I like. His overdrive's so cool.
It's so hype, yeah. Alright, so we're on the way out. We gotta grab a really important item though. Oh, really good encounters so far, wow. We've been really lucky with these encounters. And overkill too, nice, great.
Yeah, you seem to always get overkills on those bee wasp monsters.
It's very likely, but it's not guaranteed. Sometimes Waka will get a low roll if he's slacking.
Yeah. It sucks. If you don't get an overkill on those, you lose like half the XP, so it really sucks.
Yeah, you get double spheres and double AP.
Oh my god.
Ambushed again!
Oh, do not kill him. Okay, thank god.
Yeah? Not only do you go second after ambush, but you get your turns backed up, so you get the worst turn order on
Now
top
what?
of going second.
Oh yeah, Waka was slacking then.
He's slack, unfortunately. All right, and there we go.
I'm on a roll.
This is what we really wanted. We want level 5 here because we can get all this stuff. We get haste early, which saves a lot of time later down the road. How many spheres are looking right now, Alien?
14 speed out of 16.
Okay. I might just curl another B and be done. What powers?
4.
Okay.
You guys are toast. Oh yeah.
Just kill it, honestly. That's better. Hopefully this is a seed spear.
Live and let live.
Love to see it.
Yep. Then we need one more, but we might not get another encounter. We'll see. Oh, we got none. Okay, we're good. Okay, now we're officially done with this area. Forever. Really good encounters. No Regoras. It was that enemy you guys saw in the tutorial. That enemy you do not want to kill. It takes too long to kill. Sphere count kind of sucks on the thing. Doesn't give you anything you want. And we got 0 of them out of all the encounters we got. So this RNG so far has been really good. The line made blessing right now. Alright, so we're on this boat. We're gonna go up here and practice some blitzball, and unfortunately, people who know, there's a tutorial here to get jet shot, and unfortunately we cannot get it because the game will crash on cutscene remover. I'm sorry, I would do it if it didn't, but we can't. So we're just gonna sit here, watch Titus do all these moves, and unfortunately fail.
Get roasted by Jet, get roasted by life.
Actually.
What
always-
a moron.
It's always so disappointing to watch. I feel so bad, but I'm like, damn, I wish I could just do it, but I can't. Alright, most important thing here, do not say yes to any of these tutorials. There we go.
45 seconds saved.
Yeah, if you're mashing X there and you actually say yes to the tutorial, you're gonna be sitting there playing a blitzball tutorial and crying.
We haven't really mentioned, but blitzball is like the sport in the game, and it also functions as a mini game. It's the most important.
And the patch cut out.
The most important
Yeah,
part in the game.
The game, Discord didn't want him to say that.
Well, I really got filtered by Discord trying to say that shit.
Okay, but unfortunately, like, Apache's not even like close to wrong at all. It is a very important part of the run, and we got to make sure that we actually win blitzball coming up very soon. But right now, we got robots to deal with. And since we hit level 5, we got one most abilities, like Erling was saying. We got haste, and Lulu's the only person here who can actually do damage to these robots.
Yeah, these guys take like 5 hits between them to kill one robot. Lulu just one-shots them, so since he got haste early, he's able to just speed up the process immensely by letting her take her turns quicker, and speeds up her animations to boot.
Yeah, her damage is kind of slow, and she's really slow as a character in general, like combat-wise. So this is really good for this whole entire section. Alright, also these guys can drop weapons randomly. That'd be really cool. Weapons we're trying to see are a Thunderball and a Lightning Steel. If we see any of those, we are gonna pop off really hard. But they're very, very rare. So I'm essentially speaking to his existence right now, you know what I mean? Be like, there's no way this can happen. Then happens. Like chain skip.
Dude, that no one expected chain skip.
Yeah. It's funny because it doesn't even take that much time, but it's just hype when it happens. They're like, oh, I got it.
Those fights are basically identical. The only thing that can go different is if Lulu gets a turn before one of the robots she can target the robot that hasn't taken its turn yet, so it never takes one. That might come into play in this fight. This is a 3-wave fight where basically you're just rinsing and repeating. Yeah, here we go. So we can target the one on the right. Now he'll never get to take a turn. You can just kill the other one immediately.
Yep. Some like variances, thankfully, I adjusted because sometimes like wait for robot to attack is kind of annoying. I almost use haste again.
It's possible to have so little XP that you don't even have haste for this fight, in which case Lulu is not the only one who gets to attack. Titus and Kimari also go on a couple robots, but that's pretty slow.
Yeah, that when that happens, it just feels bad because you're just sitting there like these guys are just like chipping away at this robot when Lulu would just kill it.
Conveniently, too, one of the nodes that Verm picked up when the sphere grid was MP plus 20 for Titus, meaning he has exactly enough MP to cast haste 4 times, so that's 3 battles and then this boss that he has just enough MP for. This is another instance of the real goal is to not hit the boss, but hit this random other set piece. So 3 thunders on the crane will activate it. And then we get to awkwardly watch with no music as the boss just crumbles.
It's so weird. This one's so weird. You hear seagulls and stuff like that in the background. All right,
I've got my recorder right here. I can play the boss music into with a microphone if you want.
Somehow he knows exactly what to do to operate this crane, get it to the right height, and
he's
grab
trained.
the
What?
boss.
Trained professional Titus.
I would not trust Titus to operate heavy machinery.
Yeah, in the beginning of the game, he just hit a blue screen and just worked out. He was gaming.
I love it how it just drops it in the ocean. The sound effect's so funny as well.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna end it, and this drop right here could be really good. So we're praying for lightning steel or a thunderball. Very rare drops, but it'd be cool if we saw it. Metal bangle.
Metal bangle. All right.
That is absolutely worthless. I'm sorry, guys.
It's even more likely that Titus gets equipment for him because he landed the final blow.
Yep. And guys, I'm gonna make a save here. That's all I'm gonna say. So I think Apache would like to talk about this next part. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, it's just like a television show. Do you know, like it's like Glee or something, where it's like, oh, we only need to win 1 match to get into regionals, and like all of a sudden, the Besaid Aurochs are like, you know, in the championship match.
That's really good, actually. We want to get the ball first. It saves a lot of time. It helps out a lot.
Yeah, we're going to play blitzball in like the most unintentional way possible, because obviously anytime you get like hit by a defender, it's like wasting time, the clock stops. So we're trying to get into a situation where we're winning and we can stand still.
Essentially, yeah.
It's like if you like this game, don't worry, the speedrun has ruined it.
That sucks.
I love blitzball so much that like I would get to the first bit, the first save sphere where you can play blitzball, and I would just sit there for hours and just do nothing but play it.
Really?
But like Titus is the only good player on this team. They all suck. The enemy team's like stats are like way higher than yours, like so much better.
Yeah, it's like not even close. Their team is
an incredibly one-sided battle. Like I doubt anyone beat the goers on their first playthrough. Like it's insanely stacked against you. Jasu is like
Jasu is just nailing it right now.
He's
He's got their entire team following him, and he's just like swimming away. So yeah, I feel like the first half we're just trying to like run the clock down, and we're gonna try and scab a win.
Definitely the correct word, scamming a win.
Yeah, like Titus is like super good. He's like a professional player. So I mean they're all professional players, right? But Titus is like actually talented. And his spear shot is like super broken.
Yeah,
What
we had.
Jasu?
I mean, Jasu's fast. That's about it. Like, it's really convenient that we have a fast member of the team that can outspeed. Jasu's the only one that can do this.
Yeah,
Everyone
that's
else would get
genius.
caught pretty quickly. But in order to unlock Titus's Sphere Shot, which is what we're going to be trying to get the winning goal with, he has to get the ball and pass it to someone. So that's why at the very beginning of this, Verm had Titus get the ball just so he could pass it and get experience. Otherwise, he won't be able to learn Sphere Shot because he won't have room for it.
He's making an absolute mockery of their entire team right now. He's just absolutely bullying them.
look at Titus.
Yeah.
Just spazzing out there. But yeah, usually we would want to like have the ball and wait on our goal, but since I was sniped early on, I had to just run these guys out. Doesn't lose any time, but just a lot more, movement.
Yeah, a perfect blitzball game is like scoring once plus being able to stand there with the ball the entire time. But yeah, the Luka goers just got absolutely trashed in that first half.
All right, but the second half is where it's for all the marbles, guys. We don't want the Graf to get the ball. We don't want the goers to get the ball here. Oh, okay,
There it is.
There it
Grab
is.
with the ball.
Grabs the GOAT, the actual
Yeah,
GOAT.
we call him the
dude,
goat.
he does the impossible, and it makes you groan every single time it happens to you.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so,
Yeah, so like you need like 3 Besaid-Aurochs players just to get the ball off their team because they have like so much health and.
Okay, Bixen has a really good shoot, so if he shoots here, there's a chance he can actually get this. Oh, wait. Oh, no, Boda? Let's go.
Let's go.
Alright, so we're actually not a bad spot right now.
yeah, now that Jasu has the ball, we're gonna be trying to. We'll eventually have to confront Avis here and get him off. But the goal here is to just sit at the bottom middle of the stage, away from everybody, and just wait for the prime moment, which is around 2 minutes 25 seconds on the clock, and that's when Verm will have the situation assessed and he can figure out how to bait the enemy away from the goal so that Titus can get a clear shot.
Yep. This is probably the most skill section of the whole entire run, funny enough.
And according to the law, these guys are just able to breathe underwater for really long amounts of time, like they train to do it. For the longest time, I just thought that breathing underwater was a thing in this world. That would make more sense.
Okay. I don't like this positioning at all. I'm just gonna go for it right now. Oh, this is so gross. Oh, we're good. Alright, this should be good.
So now that Titus is going to get the ball, he's basically going to try and get a little closer to the goal, but the prime thing is to not be blocked. So yeah, now he's got a clear shot. Sphere Shot is RNG, got an 18, which is like your average roll, and
Let's go. Got it in.
Yeah, my entire Discord broke as soon as you took that shot, so I knew that was going in.
it's a shot of the century.
Let's not get the most ridiculous run from Grav right now.
It's still a 50-50.
Yeah,
Grav
this-
can get the ball now that Waka has his little moment, like in the cutscene, Titus leaves the arena and then Waka comes in.
And it's
GG.
over. We won. We won. Let's go. If Lay gets the ball in the third one after we score, there's nothing. It's actually over. So that's actually a really good blitz ball. Funny enough, that's pretty cool. A very stressful part of the run. Every single runner of this game, like, hates this part. Absolutely despises this part, or dreads it. So to be able to have a stress-free blitz ball during a marathon, that's just, you can ask for more, you know.
So, why do you need to win Blitzball?
All right, so this is really important. So winning Blitzball, you get a really, really important item. You get a Strength Sphere. And that Strength Sphere gives you +4 strength, I believe, early, right? +4, right?
Yeah, you get +4. You put the strength sphere down on the sphere grid, and then you can activate it at any point to get +4 strength, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's gargantuan.
It is like it is a game deciding. So
Yeah, you have to play so many fights completely differently if you don't have the 4 strength. And not only is it 4 strength, since you put the node on the ground, that means other people have access to it. Ooh, foreshadowing. So in this fight, very nice crit. Waka only one-shots the fish if he crits, so that was pretty lucky, and Titus one-shots all the time. It's not worth hasting Waka for that reason. I'd just rather be taking more turns with Titus, but Waka's still useful in that he can take out enemies that Titus isn't working on.
Yeah, I love having Waka just to do some extra cleanup. It's great. You also want to get as many crits as possible. Oh, that's 2 crits.
Yep, you're set on power spheres with that.
Nice. This is where you get most of your extra power spheres, I would say, in the whole entire run. It's from just critting the Sahagins. Or Sahagins, I don't know how to pronounce his names.
Like Carl Sagan.
Carl Sagan. Oh, that's another crit. Okay, nice. Any extra power spheres we get are just bonuses in case you mess up, essentially.
Yeah, it's not based on like the cap why it's so important. It's based on just how much strength you would have beforehand, which is what, like 20 or so. So you get like a 20% increase in your total power by the time you hit that strength sphere, and then for endgame, it just makes it way more likely that you can finish off the final bosses of the game. So it actually, like, from when you get it to the very end, it puts in a lot of work. Waka's done his job. Doesn't look like they've taken too much damage here. Their health is going to carry over to another fight coming up.
Yeah, like their health. It kind of matters a little bit in the overall part of this next section as well. But like, if they're above like 300 HP, that's really good.
Now we're going to get Auron in the party for good. Starting off with a haste on him because by far he does the most damage at this point. Titus preferably will have to come in to do 1 hit when he gets his next turn. And then Waka's just on emergency healing duty, essentially.
Yeah.
This boss can counter. It's random, and there's just a chance that every time he gets hit, he'll stop whatever you're doing and hit Auron. Oh, you defended? Nice.
It's fine. It's okay. We just got attack close, it's fine. Defending Auron is kind of weird because, like, oh wow, no counterattack. This is really good, actually.
Titus dying weighs no real consequences, so it's actually just better if he dies, so he takes less turns. Waka, it's sometimes nice to keep alive because if he doesn't reach a certain level, you're gonna have to do a fight later on differently.
With 2 HP! Just want to do a safety heal there just in case, but usually the fight would end on the next hit. Since I defended, I lost an attack, but didn't really matter too much. He didn't give me that many counterattacks, which is really what you don't want in that fight. Counterattacks are the worst part because it takes a really long time. And
did he give you any?
He gave me like 2, I think, or 1.
Okay. Yeah, very, very good. So back here are some pretty important items. Magic Sphere and HP Sphere. So normally you would utilize these by putting them on the grid and, getting the stats, because that's like the whole thing behind it. It's like there are empty nodes on the grid, so they're not all filled with like plus strength or this ability. Sometimes they're just empty and you spend a sphere level just walking over them. That's used for the strength sphere, but nothing else really. Oh, I guess there's the magic sphere. Yeah, the magic sphere picked up as well. But the HP sphere is going to be used for a very different purpose.
Yeah, we use those other spheres for other things that are very, very hype.
Speaking of hype, unfortunately missed the laughing cutscene.
Yeah, no, ah ha 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 ha.
There's a lot of things about these games that are misunderstood, and I definitely think that scene is one of them. And the whole of 10 Part 2. Criminally misunderstood. Read about it on my blog.
It's also
Did you actually write it in a blog?
No, no. I just think about it a lot.
Told ya. No. It's funny.
told ya.
Yeah, we missed the anima cutscene as well, right? Which is like
Yeah.
really awesome.
Introduction of anima, the whole invasion. It's pretty cool, but I don't get to see it.
Yep,
Which
I've
one is
never
level eight?
seen Walker level 8 in my life. That is crazy.
If it wasn't for the cutscene skip, this run simply just wouldn't get into events for the most part.
Yeah, it's hard. It's too long.
Yeah, and the length isn't justified by like actual gameplay. It's literally just like
Oh.
you could have a video on the side that's all Final Fantasy X cutscenes,
I'll
and
be
it
right
wouldn't
back.
really change that much. So
Yeah, if you just played all the cutscenes back to back, that's still longer than the speedrun.
Yeah, it
with
is.
cutscene skip.
That's faster than the no sphere grid speedrun with cutscene remover.
Wow.
That's kind of crazy. Oh my
Don't
god,
break any
okay.
bones,
So
old
basically
man.
these dogs are essentially speed tied with Titus, so there's a chance that
Live and
they
let
go
live.
first or Titus goes first, and they went first twice in a row. And they attack Titus, which is very unlucky as well.
and talk to that gentleman back there, affectionately refer to him as the Spear Lad because he gives you a hunter's spear, which I don't know what the weapon does, but it's worth 4,000 gil, so it's really, really good.
Yeah, necessary. We really need that weapon to have enough money for stuff we need later in the game.
Now, yeah, the dogs are like public enemy number 1.
Kick the blitz ball.
You kick
Yeah.
the blitz ball.
I was gonna do it anyways.
Hey, I'm a guardian now.
This is
so
important,
watch
guys. This is
out.
very
Super
relevant to
important.
the speedrun. Yes, right here. This avoids encounters later on. Feel bad for that kid. He was just having fun. This random guy just kicks the ball.
Live and let live.
Alright, please don't get an encounter. Thank you.
Yeah, you're really wrestling with encounters at this point because this is when ambushes start becoming more of a life-threatening disaster than just a nuisance. It's not too bad right now because there's no formation that outright kills you from full
won't go
health,
so easy
but
on
you
you
can
next
get
time.
some really unfortunate situations. The dogs, not only do they hit Titus half the time, they go before him a lot of the time, but they can also put him to sleep and he can't do anything. And he's the only one who lets your entire party
Alright.
leave at the same
I won't go
time.
so
So
easy
if
on
he
you
gets
next
put
time.
to sleep, you're put in this spot where you're pretty much gonna
You're
have
just
to
like,
just
well?
escape manually.
Yeah, it sucks. And like it just wait, we got 3 bombs 3 times in a row. That is wild.
Let's do it.
That's
I'll be
actually a
right
really
back.
good encounter to get because they can't go first, but like it's just funny that it happened 3 times in a row. 4 times? Let's see it. Aww.
Nearly lame.
Yeah. And the dogs have gone first every single time, so that's like each time they do it, you probably lose about
won't go
5
so easy on
seconds,
you
which
next
isn't
time.
the worst thing, but like it starts adding up and it feels really bad. Okay, this encounter we don't. As long as there's no dog or dual horn on the screen, we don't really mind that much. And also, we don't
How
want
much
characters
further
to
do we have to
talk,
go?
even though
I won't
they
go so
probably
easy on you
will.
next time.
If they're talking, we can't escape until their dialogue's gone, like done.
The best is when they talk before an enemy's turn, so you're just watching them speak until the enemy hits you,
Oh, yeah.
puts you to sleep.
Oh, there we go. We outsped both of them. Let's go.
Yeah. Dual Horn
I
does
won't go so
damage,
easy on
and
you
then
next time.
Dog has status.
Yeah, so actually, overall, really good Mihen, I would say. Not that many. I didn't have to heal at all, almost.
Buying Phoenix Downs here and stocking up on grenades, just getting extra because of habit, I guess. I pretty much always get more than 3. You really only need like 2 or 3 to beat the game, but money's not that tight in that you can't like it's just like 1,200 gil, whereas we just made 4,000 by talking to one guy.
Yeah, we also get an Albed primer, which tells us, because the Albed language is like a cipher, right? It's not an actual language, and so you can actually decode it, which we don't care about doing because we don't want
You
to
pasted the boss?
Wait,
Oh no, here we go.
Wait, what'd I do?
Just tasted the boss.
Wait.
Okay.
This could
I
be
guess we're
rough.
losing. Okay, we might
Wait,
actually
he's
die.
gonna. Oh.
This is really bad.
Okay,
Oh my
your
God.
next is really bad because he's gonna guarantee take his next turn off to hit Orin.
Oh no.
That's actually
And
very
we're dead.
fast.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
was really
fast
good.
death. Time to reload at Blitzball.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do the whole of Blitzball again now.
So
Alright.
it's way faster to just take the low road here and deal with the enemies down here rather than spending a million years killing that boss.
Yep. Oh, I say ambush, by the way. I didn't even realize it was an ambush, actually.
Yo, Sarge, thanks for the raid, King. Good to see you, mate.
Yo, thanks, Sarge. Alright, so that enemy, by the way, I don't know what the enemy's called, like the dinosaur thingy. Probably the scariest enemy in the game to get ambushed by. They have a triple fireball attack, and that's just, it can just like wipe your whole party almost.
Live and let
Might
live.
be able to see the most notorious encounter, which is it's
Oh.
2 dual horns and one of those, one of these dinosaur-looking dudes. It's called Vivre? V-O-U-I-R-E? I have no idea how to pronounce it.
Vivre?
Vivre?
I'm down.
Yeah, he sucks.
Oh, that's not
And
good.
he might do the fireball.
Okay,
No,
he
just
didn't
do
do
the
it.
headbutt.
Yeah, the fireball attack is the scariest, like, by far.
This is another lizard.
Oh
so-
my.
Yeah, dogs put you to sleep. Lizards petrify you. All
I
of
won't
them.
go so
That's just
easy on you
a
next
thing
time.
they do. So, luckily dodged it there.
Yep. And coming up, we're about to actually reach the big skip. So, you want to talk about that, Erlen? It's a
Yeah.
really crazy skip.
The next couple rooms over has an interesting room in that
I won't go so easy on you
you're
next
only allowed
time.
to access half of it at the start because the game is supposed to put like blockades in the way. You're supposed to go around the area and go up top, and you'll like launch an assault on some big like Sin spawn. Like Sin is dropping these fiends down, and then one of them escapes. You don't have to deal with that at all with this skip. So essentially, in CSR, you don't have to do the setup skip.
Thank
The
you.
reason this wasn't found for so long is because in order to skip Mushroom Rock Road, you have to do a preliminary skip, which involves an NPC, and you have to get pushed through a trigger, and then you have to leave the room and come back. No one thought to leave the room and come back and then use another NPC to clip through another boundary.
Watch
So
it,
that's
we
exactly what we're going
Crusaders.
to do.
I'll be right back.
With the newest update of the CSR, this room is flagged as if the cutscene were skipped instead of watched. So now we can come back here, and up right is an invisible wall. We're gonna do a very specific lineup. There are a couple visual cues you can use for this, and you just want to make sure you're lined up in such a way that this gentleman who's going to come from the bottom left is going to run right into you and actually clip you through an invisible barrier just by doing his usual run cycle. So let's see what happens.
There's a chance for soft block here, so that's the biggest fear right now.
Oh boy.
Oh. Yeah, that's a soft block scenario. Unfortunate. We're gonna have to reset here. Actually, I'll just die here. It's probably better.
Yeah, so unfortunately, at the very left and very right boundaries of where the skip takes place, there are 2 boxes you can get locked in forever. There's no way to get out of it. The one Verm got into just now is called the Shadow Realm. So unfortunately, he's gonna have to take this death, load his autosave, and get back to where he started. It's actually deceptively easy to make this mistake.
Yeah, it happens like. Oh, there we go. This is the fireball attack we were talking about. Very, very scary.
Wow.
We don't see that. affect everybody. But yeah, it happens. It's actually not that big of a time loss because if you were to miss anyways your setup, you will lose around the same amount of time resetting and everything. So
Yeah, it's essentially just an extra cycle. I'm actually
Bonus of
surprised
the
you were too
PC
far left.
version. It's
Yeah,
a
I was
bonus of
surprised
the PC
too.
version to like get the auto save right because in PS2 and stuff it doesn't. There is no auto save.
Exactly. That's just death if you didn't make a save beforehand.
No problem.
Yeah, I was surprised I was so far to the left too. I was like, I thought for sure that was no, like I thought it was too far to the right. Sure, I guess. I think that's good. Sometimes this skip can be a little finicky. You get into a box. There's two boxes that can soft lock you, but that's the left one. Okay.
I absolutely love this glitch. It's such a clever use of game mechanics to make this work.
It's funny. Alright, so we got through the first one, which is good, and the second one is a lot easier. That's good to me. Alright, that's it.
Yeah, this second part of the trick goes wrong way less than the first part. So there should be smooth sailing. The visual looks good. So he's basically waiting for the guy to come all the way back down, and then he's gonna talk with his homies, and turn around, and then push you all over again. And you're not quite home free because you can't get those ugly ambushes, but you should be fine.
Yeah. So if you're curious how much time this saves, with cutscenes, this saves like about 15 to 20 minutes, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And then without cutscenes, it saves about like 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. I don't think anyone's done the math yet, but it's a significant amount of time.
Yeah, it's a ballpark of like 4 to 5 because it's hard to tell. One of the scariest things about this skip is you lose access to a very nice weapon called Sentry. Sentry has this ability called Initiative, which removes the possibility of ambush in every encounter that you have Orin in, which is amazing. Ambushes are game-ending, they take forever, and with Sentry you don't have to worry about them at all, but we don't have access to that, so Verm is at the mercy of whatever the game decides he's gonna fight.
Yeah, literally the mercy of the game until we get Sonic Steel, which is about another
I won't go so easy on
40
you next time.
minutes? 30 minutes?
Yeah, it's basically your ascension into mid-game is getting Sonic Steel.
Yeah, it's really scary, this whole entire next few sections, but thankfully we got past the new skip
I won't go so easy on you next time.
on the second try. Getting it sometimes can be a little finicky, and we got through it. These encounters are always the things I'm like scared of the most. It's like all of a sudden you can just be like, "Uh oh, this dual horn encounter might just kill me."
And then I
There's
have
one
to do
more-
the skip all over again.
Yeah, we're almost out, home free. We're out. Let's go. All right, so no more Monka W. We're just gonna heal here a little bit. Skip some more cutscenes. More cutscenes. Just a lot of cutscenes happening right now.
Yeah, normally, once you get to this point with cutscenes enabled, you would skip right to the part where it's unit or people die and unit dances. That cutscene is the first thing you see, so you miss everything involving killing the big sin spawn boss. So yeah, it's a ton of time. We got the encounter that Verm is looking for on the first try.
That is
So-
really beautiful.
Enemy in the middle is called a Basilisk. We're going to switch to Kimari, and that Lancet tutorial mentioned you learn Fiend abilities. So you're going to learn Stone Breath from this guy, which is actually going to carry in some fights later on. You can sometimes get hella trolled, and the Basilisk won't show up at all. So getting it first is pretty comfy.
Yeah,
Kamari
definitely.
is the coolest blue mage.
He's definitely blue.
I think Lancet is such a cool thing for this game. Is like you get to see so many different overdrives.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first time you like learn about it, you're just there with Kamari spamming Lancet on like every single enemy, and like 90% of them don't have anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with the new route, we miss out on the most hype Kimari blue magic ability, which is self-destruct.
I should have got it actually.
Yeah, self-destruct's so good.
He just runs forward and evaporates in an instant. It does like 4,000 damage. It's actually very useful for the boss we skipped.
And you're down a party member for the whole fight.
The whole spot that he was at is completely vacant.
Yeah. There we go. Now on the Jose Temple.
We can't just skip all that.
Summoners, don't forget to smile. Not summoners, guardians even. I've played this game before.
You know, it's funny. There's actually another really big skip not possible in CSR, and not possible by human beings, called Jose skip, where you skip this whole entire temple, but it is very, very difficult.
Yeah, there's no like normalized setup you could possibly make for it. You have to basically wing it. You have to have computer AI level understanding of how angles work, and like you basically get pushed by the chocobo that was running along Verm, and you max distance full screen talk to a monk while the chocobo is pushing you all the way into the trigger for the cutscene. Very kind of similar to the Mushroom Rock one, but way more unbelievable. Like it's ridiculous.
Like, it is the funniest glitch in the game, because in that cutscene, Titus says we can't just skip all that, can we? And as you're skipping all that, it's so good.
For over 10 years, you've just been taunting the players.
Yeah. It's only possible on PS2, I'm pretty sure, too, right?
Yeah, because they fixed the weird quirk that NPCs have where you can talk to them from the entire screen away and just like shout their conversation.
Yeah. So yeah, there's another cloister. More complicated definitely than the last one, for sure. You have to do a lot of different things here.
Yeah, if you haven't done this one in a while, it's real easy to get confused. Basically, just lighting up the glowy orb we just put into the wall, because that's the only way to open the door. And then you have to somehow know that you need both of these spheres in the pedestal in order for it to like float on this electricity. I don't know, man.
Just reasons. And this movement right here doesn't make any sense as well.
This is just selling copies of the official Final Fantasy X strategy guide.
Yeah.
So this movement, you have to do some really weird movement there in order to even get on that platform.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
If you run, do the intuitive thing, run forward, you just get stuck in like a loop and you're like wiggling back and forth. Why would it let me on? There's no way to know. You're just supposed to like walk forward, then walk the opposite direction, or let go. This one has a lot of weird quirks. Even the very end, an elevator will appear, and the only way to get on it and go up is to stop moving. You don't press X, you don't interact with anything. You just stop moving.
It's like the only thing in the game almost that just like where you just stop moving and it works. Alright, so we're almost done here though, thankfully. But yeah, like I said, since what Erlen was saying earlier, it was like, since I don't have Sentry, right, I can get ambushed at any point and it would lose a lot of time. These next few areas are for sure the scariest part of the run, because you can lose so much time from just bad luck and this. Honestly, nothing you could have done to play it better. It's just hope that the RNG just helps you out and doesn't destroy you, because you can just get annihilated by random encounters or even just waves that will just straight up kill you. But so we gotta finish this.
We'll have access to the next Aeon. It actually gets used a little bit during the run. Like, I'd say Ifrit is the most useless, and depending on preference, you might use Shiva. I know, Expert Grid, we were playing on Original Grid. You can play on Expert Grid as well, which changes everything around it. It makes it a completely different run.
There's a more complicated version of the spear grid somehow.
Yeah, I'm just like, what?
It shapes the run into something really strange, because like everyone has access to use, so you're like spamming throwables with your party, and you like go through the bosses way different. It's pretty interesting, but yeah, we're just sticking with original because Sphere Grid's complicated enough as it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's faster too to go to do normal grid as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no like, it's not separated by category. You just, whatever your preference is, you do that Sphere Grid.
Yep. We're skipping a lot of cutscenes. We just skipped like 7 cutscenes in a row. It's great. Oh,
Ooh,
no.
the trolling counter. Nice.
And it's a dog! Great. Okay, so this next part of the run is... I don't like this part at all because it's not the encounters that can kill you, it's just so much time can be wasted from dogs hitting you, bees hitting you, getting ambushed by anything. Oh my god, okay. So
Yeah, this is great. A bee and a dog.
Yeah, right as you said it, yeah.
Live and let live.
Does walk up overdrive? I'm gonna check right now, actually.
Yeah, both your lads have overdrive.
Okay, nice. And then the dog, of course. Dogs are only there to waste your time. Like, legitimately.
I'll be
And
right back.
put Titus to sleep. Okay, this is a good encounter. Not to get ambushed by at all. The slowest encounter to get ambushed by, but to get it normally is
I'll be
great.
right back.
Oh no. Alright, nice. Yeah, just every encounter we see, we just know
That won't
like
go so
what
easy on you
what
next time.
Titus can outspeed or what's its speed tied with. And then realize it when you're doing this run. Alright, nice. So no ambushes so far. Not gonna jinx it, but it's looking kinda
Should
good.
have slept in this morning. I'll be right back.
Oh, back there, grabbed a chest of level 1 key spheres. Just gonna be using that for the Sphere Grid.
Yep. Need that.
I'll
It's,
be right
it's actually in the part of the new route. We didn't need it before.
Yeah, before we would instead grab another chest that's like in a hidden path coming up to use it on a boss, but
They're all hitting Kamari. Whoa.
Kamari's a guardian dog.
True.
Live and let live.
If Kamari dies, I wouldn't feel bad at all right now.
Yeah, you're basically just hoping for Titus to not take any damage because not having to heal. Great, fantastic. Now he's gonna have to
Right?
heal him before the boss fight.
I'll be right back.
Yep. And hopefully not get an encounter right now. Okay, nice.
And just as a reminder, Waka does have a blue arm guard on.
Nice.
So we're gonna be fighting an infamous boss. This boss is really annoying, no matter what route you're doing. So we had the opportunity to buy a weapon that has a chance to slow the boss, which is, you know, in practice, it can be faster, but
Definitely, yeah.
when you get
It had
the
the highest cap for sure.
yeah, the highest like cap of maximum speed, but like you get 3 turns where you're just not slowing the boss. It feels terrible. So a nice consistency way to do it is to just go in with both overdrives here. So it's targeting Titus first, I think. The game plan is to have Titus haste himself so he gets as many cheers up as possible. Like basically adding 5 extra strength to the party members by the end, which you may be thinking like, okay, I mean, that seems like quite an investment instead of just attacking and doing DPS. The thing is, every single time you cheer, the overdrive clocks up hundreds of damage. So it's like a investment for the last bit of the fight where instead of doing, ooh, nice crit.
Nice.
Instead of doing like 1,000 with Waka's overdrive or 800, we're gonna be doing 1,400 with the use of all these cheers. And on top of that, cheering is one of those actions you can take that actually gives you like, it looks like it gives you extra turns. Like this, like Titus's move order just went above the boss because he was cheering there. So it's like it's an efficiency play.
Yeah, we just need all these shares. Our damage is ridiculous because Titus doesn't level up at all, and Waka's like leveled up strength 1 time. So we need all our damage we can possibly get right now. And we're hoping that Waka gets hit here. Okay, please, Waka. It's looking like Titus again.
Yeah.
Great.
It's fine. Just dealing with Waka. Yeah, just attacking him with Waka.
Yeah. Don't
You
like
got the crit, so you're absolutely good.
Yeah, we're chilling. The damage is really, really precise here. It can be kind of awkward. But since we have both overdrives, and we get the really good RNG there. He can either go up there or he can go down. Or you can say down here. Say down here, so that's really good.
Nice. So yeah, he wants 2 yellow circles there so he can get the electricity, and this boss takes 1.5 times damage from electric, so he just did 1400 damage. He's gonna finish him off with an overkill.
Yep, this is the best goddamn boss music I've ever heard in my life.
The boss music's so awkward here. I love it. Lightning Steel!
There it is.
Well, we don't need it anymore. That's sad.
So yeah, that boss, at the very end, yeah, there's the 50-50. If the boss goes up again like it was earlier and you had to get him down, yeah, he won't die until he comes back down and does the whole animation again. So we got lucky there, and yeah, basically just enough damage to take him out there. So we're getting the Riku tutorial now. Conveniently getting a really good item from this chest, but
Yeah, definitely need that for later.
depending on your sphere count, you can either go for a mixture that's potions or 2 ability spheres, but since Verm only has 7 power, he'll have to mix ability spheres and kill the enemy, because he needs 6 for the whole run, and he would miss out on 2 if he didn't kill the enemy right there.
Yeah, the sphere count is really, really like tight here, so we really gotta make sure our sphere count's correct here and everything. Alright, so
And if you hear Riku's voice and think, God damn, that sounds like X person, it's probably because it's the same voice actor, Tyler Strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tara Strong is like the biggest example of voice talent in this game, I guess.
Yeah. Wait, what? Fucking Waka, John DiMaggio.
Yeah,
Oh,
John
yeah, I guess so.
DiMaggio.
Yeah,
John
yeah, it's true,
DiMaggio, yeah.
It's true.
John DiMaggio being, he's Kamari and Waka, that's funny.
Kamari and Waka, but more importantly, Bender, bro.
And Bender, yeah. It's hype.
And he's in Vampire the Masquerade.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
I don't know, we got bees, we don't want to see that.
If Verm still needed speed spheres here, he could farm these for 4 total, but he doesn't, so it's just a waste of time.
Yep. Oh, we one encounter? Oh, I've never got one encounter here. I don't think it's possible. I don't know
I
if
got
it's possible.
3 yesterday. And I was
Really? Yeah, you usually want just 2 encounters, it's normal. But 1 is like, you're hoping. Alright, so this whole next part is a lot of nothing. This is because no cutscenes.
Yeah, we're basically like in the big bad Final Fantasy villain. Sephiroth clone is living in this house and he's trying to woo Yuna, and he's got a lot of messed up stuff on his mind, but we don't really get to see that.
I get the feeling
It's imperative that you talk to every party member except for Kimari.
Yeah.
Don't know why Kimari isn't required, but it's bad news if you talk to him.
Yeah, just waste your time.
So coming up in this room, there's a hidden little chest that's barely visible here. You need to get that. It's got 8 lightning marbles, which is an amazing number for a very useful item.
Yeah, we
Like
really
to-
need those.
To have 8 especially is like a godsend, because you need to spam this on a boss later, and it could be used for another boss, and it can be used for backups. with your extras, so the count is really convenient.
Yeah, it's actually just like designed for the speedrun, honestly. It's kind of hype. All right, so we're gonna talk to our, we call it the squad here, and then head down, talk to this guard. We call him Steve. And then we are done here. And then we are in the scariest part of the run by far.
There's treachery afoot. There's literally, like, we call it the welcome to Thunder Plains, where you get ambushed and immediately party wiped.
Okay,
And
so we didn't. Okay, no ambush. Okay, good.
Yeah, perfectly good encounter here. Yeah, there's these guys. Anyone who can cast
I'll be
spells.
right back.
By the way, there's lightning. You have to press X when the screen flashes, and you'll be able to dodge it. It's not a big deal if you miss, but like when it's right after an encounter, it's really hard to expect.
Oh my god.
Yep, Blizzard can petrify you. Anyone can two-shot you.
Live and let live.
You can get one of those dinosaur-looking dudes, but instead of breathing fire, he has like an electric nuke, and it one-shots everybody.
Everybody, yep. It's the worst.
Like a 50% chance he uses it if you get ambushed.
And then the funniest part of all this is Orange does not have
I
overdrive.
won't go so easy on you next time.
He just got hit like at all this whole entire time. But yeah, we definitely just, all we care about is we do not want to get ambushed. Getting ambushed here, basically, it's a coin flip of what we
Live and
live or
let
not.
live.
All the enemies are incredibly dangerous. We're really weak, really fragile. We don't have Sentry. But right now it's looking pretty good. We don't want lizards, that's fine. Hitting Kamari, we don't care about Kamari.
Yeah, we really want the
I won't go so
ambushes to be
easy on you
saved for
next
the
time.
second half of Thunder Plains, where it's still scary, don't get me wrong, but it's not as life-threatening. Nice dodge.
Okay, yeah, so no ambushes so far still. This is
Might get
something-
trolled with one more encounter before the end.
Yeah, we got one more encounter left,
be right
guys.
back.
Pray
If you
for me.
dodge the lightning 100 times, you unlock Mew in Pokemon Red.
Okay, we're good. Kamari's dead, we don't care. Oh, he's alive.
Heading to this end and getting a forced heal, so we don't even have to maintain the party at all. So yeah, that went extremely well for a first half.
Literally the best you could hope for, honestly. You don't want any ambushes at all, which we got 0 of. And now we get a really, really, really important item here. Which is the yellow shield, which makes us immune to lightning attacks.
Very
Yeah, that's
useful
really
for
fun.
Thunder Plains, and useful later on too.
Yeah, for another part of the run and Thunder Plains.
Alright, here we
Ambush-
go.
Alright, here we go,
There it
guys.
is.
It's the lightning guy. Oh, we're good if we... Oh, that's fine.
Oh, overdrive though. Here we go.
That's okay. All right, that's good. See, that's why we want it in the second half. we do not want to get hit by lightning there because those attacks will hit us. I guess thunder is the name of the move. Oh, this is perfect actually.
Yeah, so we're looking for this guy. This guy doubles as a useful item dispenser, and he kills Riku. He always kills Riku. Like, if Riku's in the party, it's near guaranteed that she has the least amount of HP, and that's what he looks for. So it fills her overdrive, which is essential for a boss coming up. So now that he has Riku overdrive, he has Light Curtain from the Iron Giant, and he has enough speed spheres, he's pretty much just hoping not to get ambushed.
Yeah,
rest of this?
essentially, yeah.
That's
The
all
ambushes
that's going on.
aren't as bad as they were in the first half because we have yellow shield now. But I've died here before because you get confused by the flying enemies. And that's not good. Okay, wait, hear me out. I'll try the second half. We're gonna go for something in the second half of Makalania, where we're gonna go for some petrified grenades. New strat found by Erlian, kinda. Pretty hype. Oh, and an ambush. Okay, that's not good. Okay, that's perfect. If Titus got hit by that, he might have died actually. And Kamari's dead. So usually you would only really heal if Titus took damage, but since everyone's really low, want to make sure that they are topped off there.
I guess we never mentioned how this game, like, very generously allows your party member to revive outside of battle. Like, usually in like older FF games, like you would keep your poison status, you would keep petrified stuff, and you just go into the next battle with this useless party member. But the party member's like fully cured outside of battle, so they survive at 1 HP at bare minimum.
Thank goodness, because you only have to revive them every single time.
Yeah, I got a quick donation here. EV donated $5 and said, "I don't know what happens to blood, but free him." True. I don't know what happens to blood either.
Thank you for the no. It's for an amazing cause.
Yeah, shout out people watching and donating, legends.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna steal some more items here. We got some from the Chimera, which is really important. We want Arctic Wind there. There's a chance you get a Lightning Marble, which is quote unquote a rare steal, I think.
Yep, and 1 in 8 to just ruin everything.
Yeah, and it just sucks because you don't want that item. We already have Lightning Marbles. We don't need any more than that.
Looking for this enemy.
This is literally what we wanted.
Another instance, just like Basilisk, where you'll be going through the entire forest, not seeing the enemy you need once, and feeling real uneasy about the next boss. But now that he has all the steals, basically the only purpose to have Riku in the party is to fish for petrified nades, or if she needed overdrive.
Yeah, we want those petrified grenades because that's new strat, very hype. It only drops from one enemy though, so we gotta hopefully find them. We haven't found. I don't think we've seen one yet.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Okay, so far RNG's been really good overall. Oh, there it is. The enemy we needed, and Riku's dead.
True.
Right, I said it. The only enemy we needed.
Back.
Butterfly. The butterfly stops us from getting an encounter once we get it. So, I assume that we need to get another encounter there because if in this game once you hit a certain amount of steps, you're guaranteed an encounter, but it's random like where it's gonna happen at. So, oh, and shoot that again.
That's where the kind of disclaimer comes in. Found it independently, but it's old.
Yeah, it's just hype. No, we didn't find one. It's okay though.
Live and let live.
We want this butterfly really badly. We got it, nice. That means no more encounters for the rest of the room. And we are done here. So Makalania, thankfully we don't get any ambushes there.
Yeah, it's just how the area is coded. You just can't get ambushed, you can't get preemptives. You're gonna be doing the only weapon shopping trip in the run. You'll be selling those two. They don't sell for a lot, but what's good about them is they're at the top of your inventory. So that means Sonic Steel and Shimmering Blade are at the very apex of his inventory, because he'll be switching to Sonic Steel a lot and switching like back and forth, and also Shimmering Blade is going to be customized later on, adding extra perk to the weapon.
Yep.
So this boss is the reason why stealing in Makalania Forest was so important. You're throwing a nade so that you determine the element while also doing enough damage so that you can kill it. So now it is randomly Blizzard, so now he has to mix HP Sphere and Bomb Core because ice is weak to fire. Lo and behold, the power of Riku Overdrive.
Yeah, it's pretty balanced. And that's fight. That's it. It feels so satisfying when you like do it. It's like, yeah, the fight's finally over. Gotta watch this cutscene. This death animation takes a really long time too. But yeah, so like I said, since we bought Sonic Steel now, we'll have to worry about any sort of ambushes anymore. There's still one part of the game we have to worry about ambushes, but overall we don't really care about getting ambushed and like dying anymore. So we're gonna grid Kamari and Riku. We want to give Riku a little more speed, and we want to give Kamari a very important ability.
He's basically going to become Riku 2.0.
Yeah. We're giving him Steel, and we're giving him Use.
Yeah, so it's very important that the fight went how it did, where like Yuna swapped in and defended, Kimari swapped in and defended, Yuna defended, so they all got AP, so Kimari could learn those abilities before this next fight, and Yuna just needs a lot of AP. Spoiler alert, she's going to be the hard carry of the run. Titus is like carrying for the early game. He's really good for early and mid game. He gets strong, he gets fast, his abilities are useful, but Yuna will become the hard carry.
Yeah. So if you guys are wondering what those lightning marbles were for, it's for this boss. We're going to be using a lot of lightning marbles here.
So we're going to be exploiting how the first strike weapon makes you go first no matter what. So Titus has the first strike weapon, swaps to Riku. Hopefully this does 1k.
Nice.
Nice.
Really good roll.
Most of the time it does less, and it takes 2 hits to kill.
Yeah, it sucks.
So this thing has a counterattack. Every single time it gets hit, it's gonna slam its face into you. And Kimari's like, oh, that looks good. I want some of that.
Actually.
Let's do it for the team. And
Actually, for the team. And then this fight looks scary, like really scary in the scenario, honestly. But it's really not. Like, as long as the turn orders are correct, because the it won't really like attack you or anything like that. Just gotta make sure we do things in the correct order.
yeah, important to have Lulu there so she gets experience. And now Yuna's gonna come in, mooch off, get experience while reviving. And she's fast enough to go before Riku, which is amazing because now Titus can come in and mooch off experience. Because he didn't get any, all he did was swap to Riku.
And then more mix. Very balanced. And the boss is dead. It's funny. I think it's funny we killed the last two bosses the same exact way. It's a pretty funny thing about. It's funny if you have to use lightning on what's it called, the sphere morph. It's pretty funny. Okay, so now we have a really big sphere grid. This is when Titus becomes our mid-game carry.
Yeah, Riku is quite strong. She got her time to shine, but she can't quite stack up to some of the enemies coming up, especially because she has no overdrive right now. So we're gonna buff Titus a bunch, give him a ton of strength and speed, use that strength sphere from Blitzball in a really nice spot, actually. We're gonna be able to come back to the same spot and utilize that strength later with another character. So yeah, like Ty's got a gigantic power spike now, and he has enough HP that he can live some like devastating attacks. So he's like on par with Auron in survivability now, maybe a little better.
Yeah, he's chunky now. When we needed. And if we didn't have this, then we would have to do some crazy stuff to even beat this next few bosses. The next few bosses are kind of scary, honestly. You need that
Yeah,
damage.
even if you play perfectly, it can still go wrong and either jeopardize your run or jeopardize your time.
Yeah. You lose so much time out of nowhere from these next two bosses.
Thankfully, this next one's gotten a little simpler with the introduction of Stone Breath, so Kimari's going to make himself useful. This is an instance where your party is set. It starts as Titus, Yuna, Kimari off the gate, so Yuna's only purpose is to get experience, so she's just going to do the thing that takes the least amount of priority, which is, pushes her turn order down the least, and Titus hastes himself as per usual. So now Yuna will get a turn before Seymour. Here comes the Stone Breath. Now Titus will get a massive strength boost by using the talk feature.
Really, let's the whole thing. It's so good.
I knew you were bad news the first time we met. Oh, my sincerest
It's so good.
Delivery.
Seymour!
So now that Yuna gets another turn, she can swap to Arn, and we'll be manipulating the turn order once again, swapping to Brotherhood. And then when Arn swaps weapons in this next part,
Nice. I got it.
says feet and summons the devil. So, yeah, basically, if you don't do Arn's turns in this specific way, and with the Titus swap to Brotherhood, it'll make it so that if Anima kills Waka, who will be in Titus's slot, things get real hairy.
It's weird. It's such a precise fight, down to the actions.
Yep.
So we want sound grenades here. Nice. Open Waka. And now it doesn't matter who dies here.
Yeah, you just cannot keep Titus in. It's not worth risking a 1 and 3 to have Titus die. You need to revive him. He's not hasted anymore. It's just bad news. But Kimari dying means... Oh wait, he didn't die. That's rare.
He didn't die. Well, I know the backup for this. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll just steal. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give it an extra steal attempt with Kimari.
I can lightning marble myself actually. Should I do that?
You should steal and then lightning marble him.
Yeah, true. True. Aww. Okay, Kamari, it's nice knowing you, man.
Yeah, just in
Get outta
case.
here.
Just in case you, missed.
Yeah, we don't want Kamari there, because we only want, 2 party members here.
It's, incredibly, incredibly rare for him to not die there. Because, Pain is supposed to be an instant death.
And then he runs really fast. I love the sound effects here. Oh, and a crit! Why not?
Yeah, Multi-Thundara is 2 attacks back-to-back. It's not 3 if you have 3 party members, so having Kimari alive makes it basically a 50-50 on whether or not Riku gets hit.
I've been in a scenario where there's been 3 party members alive, and I just got destroyed. I'm like, what's happening? Yuna. Alright, now we have another cloister coming up. This one's pretty complicated if you do things wrong. I think the hardest part about cloisters is pushing these pedestals. They're pretty janky to run into. Sometimes you can overshoot it. And then Titus just starts running to the right. It's really funny.
Yeah, you just expect it to do the weird magnetize, where you'll be running into it and just stay there, but sometimes you'll just breeze right past it and you'll get looped.
Yeah.
I'm trying to push it.
It's like watching a hydrophobic what's it called? Thing. It's not touch the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. I can't do it.
Or some Family Guy sketch.
Uh-oh. Alright, we're gonna grab this. Messing any of these quizzes up feels so bad because you've done it so many times, but you're like sometimes you're just not in the right mindset, and
Yeah.
like you just like, oh, wait, what
Do
I
it
did?
out of order.
Yeah.
Forget blank. Yeah.
And then we have the scariest part of this whole entire room coming up. So we're gonna put this, into the final one, and up. This ramp is a reset, and we do not want to touch the reset because we don't want to do this whole thing again. So every time I do this run, I am super conscious of not touching that reset.
The game gives you the close-up view of your demise. All you have to do is avoid it like a landmine, like a claymore.
It's so scary. And then we just hold down here. And then this movement right here for this next part is pretty precise. If we mess up a little bit, then we can lose. We have to take another encounter. And we don't want that at all.
Yeah, it's important to have clean movement, like not have like empty movement. So the objective is to the up and right. So any movement that involves down and left is just strictly bad, and the less you like wiggle around, the more consistent speed you get. This is actually looking pretty good. It's close, though.
That was so close, yeah. So there's 3 reasons why we want to avoid that. Obviously, like, because it loses time. But second of all, on the PC version, you can actually have the game crash on you. That sucks. You don't want to see that.
I'll be right back.
Now the mid-game boss rush just never ends. We got another one coming up. Boss called Wendy. And Wendy is pissed. Like, will one-shot everything, including Titus, unless you use RN Power Break or use the light curtain that Verm picked up in Thunder Plains.
Oh,
Final frame encounter.
that's unfortunate. Very close.
So, same as usual, Haste himself. He's exploiting the first strike from Sonic Steel right now, but he's not actually going to use the weapon. He just wants the extra turn it grants you. So now Brotherhood does way more damage. Gonna attack the Guado at the top to get him out of the picture. And Shell on Wendy doesn't matter. So now Light Curtain will reduce the damage that Titus takes by a significant amount, so we can actually live getting hit by Wendy here. And terrible.
That's the worst thing that could happen.
We need Yuna to get a turn. It's imperative that she gets a turn to get experience.
We did get a crit though, which is really good. Okay, that's good. Oh, let's go!
Clutch.
Got the absolute matrix coming out from Yuna right now.
We gotta hope she doesn't die here. We should have killed her actually. Oh, that's fine. Okay, we need her to not die, and yes.
Fucking just cannot be hit.
What am I doing? Oh, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, just get her out now. We'll get you in again. Auto potion again, I guess. All right, Wendy's dead now, and he's dead. That was actually a really good fight. Even though Yuna did die in the first turn, she dodged twice, which is really lucky. Sick.
Yeah, all the experience he needs. Having Lulu in there is like a bonus, but still helpful. So now, if things go normally and he doesn't get ambushed later on, Lulu will be at the level she needs. So, Arn always gets the level he needs. I know, you might be surprised, like, wow, Lulu and Arn's levels actually matter. It'll make a lot more sense once we actually do stuff with them. So, this fight's like kind of random. You just want your party members to show up. So you're pretty much just stalling, and then when Lulu gets here, you're allowed to run away.
We're good.
Are you all...
We have a mini grid incoming right now. Literally just one movement.
The most important one movement.
If you miss this, you can't beat the game. By the way, I don't know.
Just give it to him straight. You literally can't beat the game if you don't get that.
You can't beat the game. I'm sorry. Unless you have a lunar curtain for some reason. Alright. So we only have 3 sound screens. So that means we're going to need about 2 steals here, which isn't that bad. I'm down.
So a silence grenade is like in the same category as a sleeping powder in that they do the same amount of damage.
Nice.
Very nice. Okay, so that's all the steals he needs. So he got 3 silence grenades from Anima, which isn't like that doesn't happen every run. Some runs you get a useless item. Some runs you get 6 silence grenades, but this one with 3 just has to take some sleep powder. Sleep powder is super good because it's used for both a safety strat and the fastest strat for a separate encounter.
Interesting, dude. I didn't tell you about this, but yesterday I did a run and I didn't see a single dog in this desert. I'm not kidding. It was unbelievable.
No dogs allowed. Did you get a zoo?
I did get zoo, but I didn't steal from him. I had 6 silence grenades. That's it.
Oh, I gotcha.
But it was funny because like I legitimately wanted 1 dog for a sleeping powder. The sleeping powder is gonna be useful later on for everyone who's wondering. But I did not find a single dog, and the dogs are the only one that's dropped sleeping powder. So I had to use I had to do the haste stuff with Kamari, which isn't that bad. But this desert's mainly just a lot of like running away from encounters. We don't really need any more skills, so the rest of the desert's pretty chill, relax. Nice to encounter.
If you want to be like a micro efficient lad, you can be like Cactuar's the best encounter because it's the fastest. That's about it.
Yeah, true, I guess. Because it's immediate. Just manipulate it so every encounter's Cactuar.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
You just run away. Luckily, since we have Sonic Steel, which is the greatest thing we need in this run, we don't have to worry about getting ambushed like right there.
Live and let live.
But even with Sonic Steel, there's going to be a section later on where we do not want to get ambushed. Because if it happens, we're probably getting game over. And it's a 1 in 8 chance. And it's sure, a 1 in 8 is very low. But it happens to everyone.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
Let's do it!
The next room has an encounter we're gonna take. It's a plant that's just sitting in the overworld. Not the one on the left, but the one on the right. There's like a sand pit with a treasure. The treasure falls in the quicksand, and we'll just be taking out this enemy. But what's funny is, if like Titus were to 1v1 and just man up on the plant, he would never ever be able to beat him in this current state. It would be sad.
Yeah, like even though we're strong in Slay, we're not strong for this. So we have to use Auron, which is one of the only times he's ever used for this whole entire run, honestly. And it's a really funny animation. Clips through the sand. It's great. Get out there. Well, there's gonna be another Sandragora coming up too, and we actually can skip this one. So we're gonna go for a setup on here. First of all, we're gonna get Titus back to the party. We're gonna try to go for a setup. I'm gonna try a right side, even though I'm not good at right side too much.
You're basically gonna be going knee deep into the pit and then fooling Riku into
Live and let live.
boosting us through.
Ooh, that's too close.
The enemy here only activates if you are walking into it, but if you're standing still and you happen to go past it. Okay, that was supposed to be the part where like you do it. You can't win them all.
I'll go left side. I'm the left side. There we go.
Yeah, because
whoa! I've never gotten that before. I've never gotten an encounter on the screen. But yeah, so yeah, if you stand still, you get past it. As he was saying, as I got it on my first try, right?
Totally. It's like, you don't want to use Tumari's Stone Breath there. I mean, it's not like run over if you have to, but
Oh, an ambush. Okay, that's great.
lovely. Yeah, so it sucks to get here. It's not terrible. Like, this is the best ambush you can get out of these 3 encounters, but it's still bad because these are mandatory. You have to kill all the enemies here. We're just hoping for Lulu to not die, because that would be a little annoying.
So far, they've been hitting Titus. Oh, and they hate Orin too. These bombs are really mean. That is not what I wanted to do. Oops. It's fine. This encounter we won't really die to it. It's just kind of time consuming. We don't want any ambushes in any part of this section. It causes a lot of weird stuff to happen. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about our health either. We don't want an ambush on this next part, by the way, which we're not getting, right? Alright, sick. The scariest one's the third encounter.
Yeah, this one's bad, but not irrecoverable. The third one is just RNG whether or not you're dead. So we're basically both exploiting the first strike from Sonic Steel, but also Lanciting to build overdrive immediately from these guys, but not using the move they give us. Just stick it with Stone Breath because it's an instant one-shot.
Yep.
It's guaranteed.
Over here!
Alright, here we go. This is the moment of truth. All runs have died here, everyone.
Annoying what?
And we're good. Let's go. I did not speak into existence, guys. It is... You guys understand the feeling of anxiety when you're on this part of the run on a good pace? It's terrifying.
I hear you chuckling in the back there, Apache.
Yeah, I was fully expecting him to die.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What am I doing? There we go. Alright, and that's home. Thank goodness we did not die. We got ambushed in the first one, which is honestly not bad at all. Just time loss. And Lulu live, so that gives us opportunities later on if things go in our favor.
So yeah, that's where like the big reveal of the game happens, where basically summoners are just like gonna go to die, and Titus had no idea, and the player probably didn't have an idea unless they were paying close attention. It sucks, and that place just blew up, so we can't go back.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, there were a couple items he got there. They're gonna be both used in the sphere grid, but if you miss any of them, it's just GG.
It's
like,
GG. Alright, this is the boss that we were talking about. If I did not do that one sphere grid movement, to put in perspective how how tight this run is in terms of like stats and everything, that one movement, like me just moving straight down, that's it. Mm-hmm. I can't beat the game. Like
there's no like bailing out, because we're gonna be using a strategy that involves a Riku mix you haven't seen yet, that makes every single attack a critical hit from that your party uses. So this is the this can start 2 different ways. This is the bad turn order, so we start with a haste and a cheer, but now that Titus is going again, he needs to basically waste a turn without pushing himself back too far. Do that just by switching armor. Now here comes the Riku mix. This makes every single attack a critical hit, which gives you just enough damage to kill the boss. So that Titus got hit. The boss can do another swipe, so you need him topped off, because if he goes 1 and 3, it's game over.
Oh my, it's fine.
Yeah. Titus won't get hit for the rest of the fight. And now the other party members can go for steals for a useful item. If Riku can get another one, then he won't have to take any encounters that involve stealing later on.
See it? Oh,
Oh.
that sucks. That sucks. We want Riku to die here too, but it's not the biggest deal if she doesn't. Just gotta lose a little bit of time later on.
Yeah, that fight is extremely delicate. If one little tiny thing goes wrong, it's just over. Like, the order in which you do everything matters. The amount that you do. The fact that he did that, stalling for a turn mattered. Like, if he cheered twice instead of swapping armor, then he would be doing too much damage, and the boss has, like, a threshold of HP that he can fall to start using Stone Gaze on your party, and effectively that's a death for them, and that can happen to Titus and ruin everything.
Yep. So it's scary. That fight can be like really scary if you're not like paying attention to what you're doing.
These flamethrower guys too can just wipe your entire party if you don't put them to sleep. That's why sleep powder is pretty important. There is a backup in case you have throwables that do the same damage, like silence grenades, but it's slower.
That's why we wanted to steal from the dogs. But sleeping powder is very important here. It helps it make it just simpler.
Stay right there, Seymour!
We're coming, Yuna!
Those 4 fights were basically like 2 of the same fight identically, and then 2 of the same fight identically. But this one's a little different. He's gonna haste Riku, and then she's gonna start pelting nades. You're gonna go for Sia?
Of course. I gotta see it. Does Titus a Hia here or Sia? We want Sia. No!
I guess you're getting the bad drop later.
That's rough. Start the whole run again.
Yeah, this one's dead. It was the
Start the whole
orange.
run over and be done way before any percent run.
Actually, it would be like 4 hours before still. On PS2, it's a lot longer too, because you can't skip any of the FMVs. I mean, a lot of the FMVs. I'm the only FMV you can skip is the first one, right? In the main game. PS2.
Yeah, the one that you skip with select or whatever.
Yeah, that one. That one's so weird. Like, why select?
This is everyone's favorite trial.
Oh yeah, everyone loves this part. It's so hype.
Very high.
You get to hear the Cloister Trials music for like 10 years.
Cloister trial music, auto scroller, extremely punishing mistakes.
Yeah, that's all. Like, that's awful. That's like the worst trio of things I've ever heard. You can lose like minutes here if you are not doing this correctly.
Yeah, basically, he goes on this like Guitar Hero highway down this path to these junctions, and you have to time. You have to time your X press. You can you can kind of buffer in advance. Like this one right here, it's like forward or back. You can't turn forward, but you can turn back, so you can just hold X and buffer in advance. But this one that goes left to right in this junction, you have to time it. And if you go to the wrong spot, then that means going back forward, U-turning, and trying again. And it gets pretty bad if it gets out of control. It's basically spending this first part unlocking the next area that has the real trial.
Yep. This is the part of the run where you're like kind of stressed about doing something wrong, but like you're also kind of relaxing.
Yeah, it's not intense. It's just punishing.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. The first turn is probably the hardest part, I would say. It can be kind of weird sometimes.
There's actually tech. There's like ways to hit certain cycles on the junctions. Like coming down here, if you wait one cycle, you'll be able to turn on the second junction. Yeah, like that. He could have went left earlier, but this highway moves so fast that he can't actually turn on the second if it's facing up when he goes to it. It's kind of weird. It's like your platform accelerates and it goes so fast that you have to actually time it from the outset when you start your movement.
So jank. Especially when you're like going, oh my god, when you're going for the first turn, it'd be kind of weird. Like right here, I'm gonna hold X or A in my controller, but it's gonna look like I can't go through it, but I can. It can be kind of late, but it's weird. The second one, when you're going super fast and like you're going with one turn, it's like weird. Oh my god. Whoa. That is not what you're supposed to do. Sometimes you just kind of autopilot on this part and you just like forget exactly what you're supposed to be doing. That's time lost. This is basically an auto scroll that you can lose a lot of time on, honestly. And these things are kind of finicky as well.
This next one, how Verm waited a cycle for the first time he had to make the second turn, he can just go immediately as soon as it's up like this, and see how the second arrow is pointing right. That means you got it. You need to go back to that area he was at previously.
Tell me the song does not go hard, guys. For like 10 years.
Alright, puzzle's basically over. So throw everything I said about timing your A press for the turn only specifically when the arrow is facing right, because this first turn you're actually going just slow enough for it to catch if it's pointed straight up.
Yep. Like it says, oh no, I'm gonna go straight forward, but like you could actually turn right here. It just looks really jank. Like there you go. See, like I look like I was gonna keep going forward, but yeah.
Yeah, it's
and we're
really,
done.
really nice that it lets you buffer your input.
Yeah, thank God.
If you had to time that,
this section sucks. It's terrifying. It's like stressful for literally no reason. Just don't mess up. Alright. This next part of the run is why I'm happy I'm playing with the original music.
So say hello to your new Lord and Savior. This guy is the face of FF10 speedrunning right now.
Actually. True. I mean, you're not wrong. We have the longest sphere grid of the whole entire game coming up, by the way.
It's a really girthy grid starring Aaron and Yuna. And Aaron gets to fill in something too. He gets to help. So starting with him, just gonna be opening some gates and traversing around the part of the grid you want to be at. Because like his default route is really weak, but this level 2 key sphere route that you have just enough for, you can actually go up and hit some really powerful nodes. So Mana Sphere here will activate this magic node, and you're like, what? Arn doesn't even know any spells. We'll get back to that. Level 4 here, and then there's 3 swords over here. You want to hit all 3 of them. You get a massive strength boost for Yuna. And now, with Arn's node that he filled in, we can go ahead and use this teleport sphere to go straight to it. Magic sphere, pick up the nodes that are around here. It turns out it was not for Auron at all. It's just for Yuna. He has to fill in this mana node in order for Yuna to teleport there. And now she gets to take advantage of the whole area, and we'll be getting tons and tons and tons of stats.
Yeah, it's a lot of stats.
It's amazing how specifically the stat allocation is mapped, because basically all of this is for the express purpose of making Yuna fast enough, but also making her hit hard.
We got a quick donation here, $25 from MGS MGN. Thanks so much, mate. And he left a comment wishing all the best. We appreciate that. We're nearly at 600, man. That's crazy for day 1. Thanks so much to everyone who's been donating. Awesome day 1.
It's terribly generous, thank you.
Yeah, let's go. Almost 600, right?
We're certainly getting there.
And there we go. That is the longest sphere grid in the game. It looks kind of scary, but like, it's honestly not that hard to memorize. All right, we got a new summon, Ixion. Let's go.
Ixion's a good boy. He has Horn Attack, and that's about it. I mean, it's a fast summon animation. This looks like it's taking a while, but we'll have to summon him again anyway. Like, it's mandatory. So now that Verm has Aeon summons set to short animations, the next time we see this guy, it'll be like at a fraction of the time.
And right now, we can either get 2 larva encounters or 3 larva encounters. We ideally want 2, but 2 is pretty rare. It's something like 3. And we get ambushed, that's not good.
This is why you heal?
And she almost died. That is why you heal, exactly. I'm gonna heal her again, just for safety reasons. We get double ambushed. That could be really bad. I've never seen it before, but it could happen.
To clear the area, these encounters are inescapable. You can't run from them, so you might as well just take him out in one shot.
Oh, that sucks. I agree. I love that line.
It's the perfect time to use that line.
Actually. So, it's not that big of a deal if we got 3 larvas. It's just a little bit of time loss. A little weird stuff with Surrogate, but it's not the worst thing. Now we get to play Pokemon versus Isari.
Well, you get to hear Vixen talk, but this guy is also voiced by Ryder.
Yeah. So if you're curious why we use all those sets, like you guys are wondering, why do we give Yuna all that strength? This is the reason why. Summoning the main carry of this run, which is Bahamut. And he slaps hard. Like, we had a really long summoning animation for the first time, but after that, he'll summon pretty fast. But he smacks ridiculously hard. You're gonna see the damage come right here. And Ifrit's dead, one shot. He just stands there, shocked at what just happened. He's like, okay, hear me out. What if I just summoned Veil for it? That's better. That's a better Aeon than Ifrit.
With the way this grid is set up, you can actually one-shot Malifaux. You'll get the one-shot, whereas before
It's not.
you'd have to two-shot it, so it's just slightly better now. Yeah, one-shot.
Yeah, just smack. You're gonna see this animation a lot, guys. So get ready for it. But then the Saru, you know, he's smart. He realizes, wait. So like you're doing that. What? Hear me out. What if I did the same thing and just took Bahamut from you and just used this instead?
You're like, oh wait, Bahamut's grayed out. I can't summon Bahamut. He's right here. Oh god. Thankfully, his Bahamut is not nearly as scary. It's just like a DPS check, and Ixion does enough damage.
It's just gonna be using horn attack a lot. A lot of horn attacks. We can get crit here, now it's saved a little bit of time, but it's pretty rare. I don't know the percentages, but it seems to happen like once every 10 runs. And there he is. His Bahamut doesn't do anything. Alright, so that's like a precursor to what's gonna happen for the rest of the run, by the way. Alright, so we really want to make sure we only get one encounter here. Getting two encounters here kind of sucks.
Adrian, thanks for the raid, homie. Appreciate it.
Yo, thanks for the raid.
So we don't know anything about how Final Fantasy statuses work. This boss has something called Zombie, which makes healing hurt a lot. Like a lot. He's immune to the death status, but if he wasn't, Phoenix Down would just one-shot him. But unfortunately, it takes 2 whole Phoenix Downs to make short work of that boss.
Yeah, it's great. Love watching that boss. It's funny, it's intimidating, just 2 Phoenix Downs, you're out. So there's actually no more encounters, so this part is just like you're legitimately doing nothing for I don't know how long the swim is. It's probably like 30 seconds. Boom.
This is effectively where the run shifts gears, so yeah, Yuna taking hold of the main character status means pretty much everyone's doing her bidding. And although it looked like Tidus was just independently becoming super strong so he could carry mid-game, its ultimate goal was to be another stepping stone for Yuna's growth. So Yuna is going to use the other teleport sphere. And we're going to go exactly to where the Blitzball Strength Sphere was used and start mooching off of Tidus's grid. Or, I guess Tidus is also mooching, so it's not even that bad. But, yeah. his nodes were super freaking good. Now, Yuna gets them.
Yep. We're just giving her a lot of strength. It's really funny. She's like, at this point, she's a lot stronger than Tidus. And you're about to see in full effect. You guys are about to hear a really funny sound effect. Preemptive. Okay!
That was perfect!
That is literally the best thing that can possibly happen. Let's go. So yeah, we want to kill one robot. We got a crit, which is an overkill, and we're done. I
Wow.
love that sound effect.
The preemptive made it so that Yuna went first, whereas usually,
Yeah, that's so weird, right? Yeah, what?
since Titus has
I won't go so
first
easy
strike
on you
on his
next
weapon,
time.
he usually goes first, but the preemptive basically gives everyone first strike, so it goes fastest speed first, which was Yuna, and then Yuna crit, taking the least amount of turns possible.
I won't go so easy on
just
you next time.
little stuff, but pretty cool.
Oh my
Two
goodness,
encounter?
let's go. Nice. That was a really good hybrid. Oh my god.
Need to add a little damage onto this guy, just to ensure
And-
that...
I'm gonna turn order too. Oh my god.
Yeah, this was perfect. Seymour can go there and use Blizzard pretty slow, but yeah, this hybrid was amazing. One encounter in the water, 2 encounter bridge, and this guy goes down.
Yep. Slaps hard. We're skipping a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah, Yuna ain't no slouch either. She did 8k with her rod on that crit.
Yeah,
Jesus.
depending what happens next, we might see more of her more of her using the staff, which is funny.
We just have one objective in this area. As far as combat goes, now Evray, the big worm, before the wedding scene, gave 1 water gem, but we need a fire gem now
My
because
will
we
is
need 2
strong.
total gems for a boss fight. So first encounter, easy stuff. This part doesn't really like have a lot of variance in it. You get so many encounters here, and Flan is so common that you're gonna get it eventually. Adding a little extra strength. This strength, 4 strength, once again, makes all the difference. It's the difference between 2-shotting the next boss and getting owned by the next
yeah,
boss.
actually just dying straight up. It's funny. But yeah, like thankfully, like the fawn is a really common encounter. Because a lot of times in this run, where like you need an encounter, a certain encounter, and like you just won't get it because the game just hates you.
So I guess I'll mention now that the
What should I do?
biggest difference between this run and any percent, you can also run any percent on CSR, but we're doing RNG fix. Throughout the whole run, you're sort of planning for this end goal of getting a piece of equipment that makes it so you never get an encounter again. It's no encounters armor. It's extremely rare. Not only is it extremely rare, but the enemy holding the equipment is also extremely rare. But with the power of RNG tracking and manipulating the run throughout, and this is like your last chance to get everything into place and make sure that you actually manipulate the no encounter armor. But yeah, any percent, pretty ridiculous how much time omitting encounters from the rest of the game, like how much time that saves.
Pretty wild. It's like, it's really cool. The biggest part about tracking RNG and everything is avoiding ambushes, obviously, and knowing when you're gonna get the armor. It's great. It's cool. That's why like people like writing with cutscenes, because you're able to like track while you're watching cutscenes. So you're not just that you're just like checking to see if your encounters are good, how your armor's doing, stuff like that.
Yeah, the cutscenes add a lot of downtime. It's really difficult to run with CSR if you're not doing like a pre-planned seed, where in advance you kind of like know how the entire game will be played. So like if you were to do all this stuff on the fly, you're like, okay, I killed this enemy in this order, I gotta steal here. It's just extremely difficult to keep up. just like how this boss is extremely difficult to keep up with getting smacked.
This boss is actually terrifying if you don't do this. If you don't have that 4 strength, you will just get owned by this boss straight up, yeah. Like you were saying. You also get a crit here, which is very rare. No, we will not get a crit. Yeah, there we go. So just Bahamut just doing casual 34Ks, you know, it's no big deal. And they're only gonna get stronger as the run goes on.
Back there was the alternate path. You could go into a cave and get no encounter armor, but we won't be doing that. There's just like no way. And also it's banned in RNG fix just to keep the spirit of the category alive.
Yeah, because like the story about the no encounters armor, like the end of it was like wild. Like how like a category was killed and how RNG tracking came to be.
This is Kamari's send off. He's gonna have a steal off this guy. Important that you get that level 3, and this is where the gems come in handy. Overkilling both of these guys ensures that their drops are doubled, and this is one of possibly the most important drop in RNG fix.
Yeah.
So it can be either 4 returns to 2 or 4 friends.
Aww.
We got the lamest one. The most likely,
Yep.
it's a 7 and 8 that you get 4 returns. It's like 2 instances of 7 and 8 for both drops. So yeah, we'll just be going on the standard route from here on. Basically, if we were to get 2 friends, we could power up Yuna early, because what a friend sphere does is teleport you straight to where another one of your party members is on the sphere grid, but we'll be getting some of those later, just not yet. I'll have to be taking it slow here. Just get some stuff out of the way. Titus armor break is extremely important, and then we're gonna pre-move Lulu way deep into this grid and open up level 3. Because once we do get the friend sphere, this is where Yuna's gonna go. And nice thing about return spheres as well is they allow your customizable weapons to employ first strike. So now every single party member who has first strike goes first, which is amazing. It's like imperative for the end of the game.
That literally, like, it's the biggest reason why is because we need to beat the final boss in the game, and
Yep.
it's really important that like these 3 characters have first strike.
The final boss has another fixed party situation where you are forced to have Yuna, Titus, and Auron. So if they don't all 3 have first strike weapons, it's GG. So now Auron, Titus, Yuna always go first. That's why we don't have Yuna in the party. We'll be using her, but she's faster than Titus, so you have to defend every single time, which adds up. It wastes a lot of seconds.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Okay, I never heard him say that before, actually. I didn't want to hear Riku's voice line, that's why I took her out. Voice sounds like lose time, like I was saying, guys. Usually, like most of the time, you want to put Kamari in your party so he doesn't talk. We might hear Titus say a voice line with Kamari though, which is hype. You know, it would be hype if we got a crit on the next boss. The fastest strat for this next boss, by the way, is to not do any setup at all and just crit, and it saves like 40 seconds, you would say?
There might be more on this.
It's
this
pretty
4
wild.
returns. It's so much time.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
it's an
hella
8,
YOLO.
it's an 8% crit chance to crit, so sometimes you just gotta look at it and be like, you know what, I'm down to lose my run to an 8% chance. I would never do it personally, but it is something people are willing to go for, I think. Because it's a really big time save. And the end game of this game is really tight, I would say as well. Like you're not like there's gonna be the very few time saves overall. It's just more like it's just can you get luckier or can you menu a little better? I love how low our health is compared to everything else. We're just like, we're so weak right now.
Seymour's back. He's in this giant mech. His name is Seymour Fox, which is pretty strange to have a character named Fox in your game, like F-U-X. But yeah, that's his canon official name. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I make sure.
So, with 4 returns, we gotta take the slowest fight. We have to bonk him with Yuna, which actually matters, and then haste her, because Bahamut can't quite stand up to this thing without a crit. And, Riku gets to help too, now that Verm has leftover silence grenades from... a leftover silence grenade from the mid-game excursion. He's able to use it without having to overdrive.
Right. We're here, guys. This will be wild because I haven't seen a crit in like so many rounds. So everyone pray. Here we go. Let's see it. Nope. It is extremely rare. And now, unfortunately, Bahamut is dead. I'm gonna hear the voice line. Nice.
Death awaits you.
That's his no BS button. He just sends your dude away. You can't summon him back, he's just dead.
He's actually just dead. And then you get to see Yuna's staff smacking skills.
See, she does twice as much damage as Titus about.
It's not even close. I love it.
Yeah, important that you don't attack with Titus there, because he'll steal the kill and won't get an overkill.
And that overkill's pretty massive too.
Yeah, you lose out on way too much AP.
Yo, shout out Mystical Machine Gun, who donates $20. Why not donate during one of my favorite games? Is this one of your favorite games? It's one of my favorite games as well.
Let's go.
Thank you
Nice.
so much for that.
Yeah, thank you so much. What's our total right now?
We are at a total of $563.12. And of course, like all the subs and bits and so on will be calculated into the total later. So it's actually higher than that.
Oh, so nice. We're about $600 then, huh?
We're smashing it, mate. Absolutely smashing
Let's
it.
go. On the first day too.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you guys. Thank everyone who's been supporting the event and everything.
It's always like overwhelming. Every time we run one of these, like the support is always crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah, this next part we're here. We're just gonna run away from a lot of enemies. The party will be changed to a fixed party soon because we're gonna enter some water. But mainly just gonna be running away from a lot. I call this enemy Mike Wazowski, by the way. Good name for that guy.
It's very important you know that, because
Yeah, just
we're going to be
say
seeing
that.
a lot.
Yeah, a lot of mics.
Any mics.
I love calling him that. It's so good. All right, so here we can get some encounters with some fish. Like I said, we don't like fish at all.
Fish are bad news.
Okay, if we get
Fish
one
are-
encounter here, this would be really good.
Fish are food, not friends.
Fish are food, not our friends, they said.
Yeah.
We're all goldfish, man.
goldfish here. So yeah, it's basically, we like to call this like the Mario Party section because you have to do a couple mini games. There's this quick time event randomly thrown in here where you have to time it so that you hit this like core with Waka's blitz wall.
Let's go.
First try. That
It
can
is
go,
scary. Yeah.
It goes so south if you miss the first one because it's on like a weird cycle. It's like every other one it leaves its core exposed. Sometimes you just get some really BS looking shots that don't work.
It's a lot trickier than you guys would think. It's pretty scary. If you mess with the first one, me and Aaron have done this where we just wasted like 40 seconds just getting bodied by Mario Party. We're just like, what do we do? Like, I think one time your PB had like a -50 Mario Party, and I was like, bruh. you just have a free minute to save it on the split every single time.
Yeah, so since Riku, Waka, and Tidus are the only three in the party who can swim, that's now the party, and you wouldn't think that's like matters at all, but there's two enemies. That one, did we already get the voice line for Riku?
No, we didn't.
Okay, she talks about eating that enemy, and Waka also talks about eating an enemy. So it's just bad RNG if it happens.
Yeah, I haven't seen this enemy here like ever. That's pretty rare. But yeah, like, we don't want to see Waka talk about steaks, and we don't want to talk about Riku eating a dark flan. That's the biggest thing we just don't want to see. Okay, good. We didn't get the what's the behemoth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we haven't seen that one yet. The behemoth one is when Waka talks about how many steaks we can get out of the behemoth. Pretty funny voice line, but like, I'm trying to go fast, you know?
We're basically just taking all these weird detours to unlock the rest of the cave. We can't get out of the cave without doing this Mario Party shenanigans.
Yep. You don't want another encounter here? Oh, we got it. Unfortunate. Every encounter that you get extra is an extra 12 seconds that you're just losing, so feels pretty bad. This is the hardest puzzle in the game right here. It goes to the green, Tidus goes to blue, and then Waka has no choice. Like, straight up.
Waka has no choice. Hardest puzzle.
Like, his fate was actually sealed.
The end game is like, it looks kind of empty because there's no risk from ambush. There's no like encounters we're looking for. I mean, there will be soon because Riku doesn't have overdrive, and some runners don't mind, but it's like preference whether or not you want to go for the end game strat without Riku overdrive. But I like going for it just because you don't have to watch a bunch of animations.
Yeah.
So
It's not a big time loss, honestly. It depends, like, if you really want to.
But it's still like pretty important to have good movement in these endgame areas because like the counter rate is so high that it's hard to tell what you can actually avoid. But the more useless movement you have in each of these areas, the more you suffer from the high encounter rate.
Exactly. Like, you can just lose, like, minutes if it's horrendous. Get the saves first case. Alright, that's good.
This is the first time Armor Break comes into play. Bahamut can't one-shot this with the unit's current state without first lowering its defense. Yeah, now Bahamut can go in.
And usual thing, we're gonna see him slap.
Until the very end, I mean, Titus, he's not like killing anyone, but the support he offers Yuna is still very important. Like, buffing her, hasting her, debuffing the boss. It's still him filling an important role. He's just not nearly as strong as Yuna.
Yeah, just like more of a duo supporting Bahamut in general, I would say.
It's really nice too that Bahamut has break HP limit so that he can do up to 5 nines worth of damage, whereas every single one of your party members can only do quad 9, including other summons. So like his ceiling is so much higher than everyone else's. It makes a lot of sense to put all your eggs in the Bahamut basket.
Yeah. There's gonna be a chest right here that we're gonna grab. It's not technically necessary. It just makes it like it makes everything completely safe for what we're gonna be doing. So the next boss, if we don't use these 2 spheres coming up, the Fortune and Luck sphere, we have a 3% chance of missing a few bosses in the game. And if you're going for a run at the highest level, you technically don't need them. But we're gonna grab them for sure, definitely. And the song really does hit in this section.
Not cutting it out for battle music was such a good move.
Yeah, it's like... Imagine the song being interrupted every single 20 seconds. I mean, every single, like, 5 seconds. For the battle theme. That would suck. Mike! He's back. I swear half of these enemy encounters have been Mike.
Coming up in this next area, we'll be looking for a big old robot enemy, basically a reskin of the boss Firm fought in the Calmlands. His name is Defender Zed, and we want him to hit Riku with a Jolt Haymaker to fully fill her overdrive.
Yeah, true. That's really what we want to do. We want Joel Haymaker to be hit here, to be done on Riku. Basically, unfortunately, to all the Riku fans, we need her to die a lot in this run because you give her overdrive, and her overdrive is very, very good.
She kind of gets the Meryl treatment in Twin Snakes.
Yeah, true. So this is a really bad encounter. We don't want to see that. We want to see Defender Zed by himself. Nope, same encounter, very bad. It's not that big of a deal if we don't get it here. We can get it later on, the overdrive. We get it from a turtle instead. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna run away and let Riku deal with this by herself. And Orange sucks. Try again. Thank you. And yep, that's it. that's all we needed. No Joel Haymaker, is a move called Haymaker. We got just simple punch. Hey, yo, he's back. He's like, I'm not done with you.
And it just makes perfect sense to have Auron here too, because since he has first strike, he goes before the enemy, and Defender Zed is super slow, so he gets multiple chances to run away if he fails, but he's not so fast like Yuna that she trips over your turns.
Yeah, having Yuna go first in the party is really whack because you just have to defend her some time. So might as well just take out the party. Like in the early game of this game, she can outspeed Titus too, and then you might like be mashing A for like an attack or something, And then next thing you know, you're summoning Valfor, and you're just like, well, so you definitely don't want units to outspeed Titus in any capacity, except for like the later parts of the run, like this, like during the boss fights.
Now that Verm has the 2 spheres that he wanted for this menu, he can friend a Lulu and put the spheres down immediately because there's an empty node, so it's really convenient. You can just fill it up right there and getting massive power boost from these 2 nodes. And then we're going to be doing a little trick called Seraph warping, where he'll fill in this agility node above him, but then use a return sphere for the only purpose being saving a sphere level so he doesn't have to waste one walking there. And he's going to do it again just to save 2 sphere levels, and then he'll have to do it a 3rd time on the 4 return route eventually. But this is all the damage he needs for the next boss. But after the next boss, he'll have to do another menu.
Yeah, it's funny. All of that was just for to save like 2 levels, but the levels are kind of gigantic though. This next part we call it Tetris 99. Our goal here is just to select the correct Tetris pieces, and almost like no runner does this off memory. I'm pretty sure like 99% of runners just like use like a PNG or something like that. That's what I'm using right now. I'll admit it. Because this one's like pretty easy. I don't have to memorize this one. It's just kind of simple. It's just, you know, you go over here, you go over here, and you go over here.
Yeah, until the arena expands to like 8 times its size.
Yeah, then it becomes
like,
yeah. It's kind of like, oh, I get it.
I get it. I'm supposed to bring up a PNG here. That's the intended strat.
I'm supposed to go to GameFAQs.com. Go to guides.
Let me neo-seeker myself a Tetris map.
Alright. This section takes a very long time. The music's very, makes kind of anxious for the next part. I don't know why. Just anxious because some things can just go wrong. Like I remember I got here and I was 1 sphere level. I mean, 1 power sphere off, and it just felt scary.
Take a minor efficiency plate here and pick up the sphere before the puzzle's over, because you're going to be taking it back to the previous room. You can't do the same thing with that sphere on the right though, because that only unlocks after the puzzle's completely finished. You have to do four trials in this big room of Tetris puzzles.
Yeah, we have 4 of these to do. Actually, we have 5 of these to do, technically, with the first one.
Mm.
So, if you guys like Tetris, you came to the right place.
Watching Grav play Blitzball and Tetris. That's why I come to watch Final Fantasy X.
Grab. I'm just happy our Blitzball was amazing, actually.
Yeah,
Our Blitzball was so good.
That's what could have really spiraled out of control.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
I've been seeing some stuff.
Yeah, we've been scarred. We've seen Grab just say, "Screw it! I'm just gonna shoot," and it works.
Yesterday he broke. He walked up to my goal and just broke for no reason and won the game. It was
really.
He never breaks there, and he just decided 2 runs in a row he's gonna break, and it worked both times.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Sometimes he just he decides your game for you. Because like technically, if the AI was a little smarter, you would never be able to win that game. Like they would just do it, and you can do anything. Your team sucks. Keepa is not a good goalie at all. We do not like Keepa here, but it's more of a Grab being broken situation, and their whole team being like the goats. All right, we have 1 more to go.
Yeah, like this run up to this point could have gone so much differently. including getting like 2 friends from the Ronso battle. You have to do a bunch of different menuing, and you would actually do less menus overall, which is why it's like the sought after RNG. It's like
it's about a minute, yeah. Overall.
A minute, and you can only manage it by getting a 1 in 8 drop.
Yeah.
I mean, to get this far, I mean, you didn't miss Anima. Your RNG in the early game was like very, very good.
Yeah, the RNG overall this whole run has been really good, honestly.
You didn't really get to showcase how ruthless the game could be.
Yeah, we got this has been a pretty solid run overall. I have a timer out or anything, but this one seems pretty decent compared to like what I normally do. Not like amazing, like I would say, but just solid look all around. Even Extractor was good. They actually everything was good. If we get Jet Beam, that's even better. Or a Zombie Strike Weapon. Alright, this next boss, pretty simple. It's just the classic, what I say about the game, just summon Bahamut and smack.
Sometimes you crit.
Yeah, if you get a crit, that's even better. I don't know the odds of critting here are, but like it's very rare.
And if you don't crit, then the boss can miss twice in a row, and you don't have to heal.
Yep, that's hype. Love seeing that. No crit, sad. See a dodge here. Aww. This looks scary, but it's not scary, trust. Oh, and we dodged one.
Bahamut filled his overdrive, which does a collective 3,000 damage.
It looks cool though. It looks cool, but it's nothing.
It's very weird how like the scaling is so aggressively geared towards strength that the overdrive being magic based does nothing when usually in casual playthrough it does like 10,000.
Yeah. So we have one more sphere to do.
I have a clever way to do this. You're gonna learn fire with the black magic sphere and actually go straight there, which leads us to a set of really convenient nodes to pick up. 4 speed is huge, and just gonna be getting some MP and strength to round out Bahamut's power.
Yep. It's a very big brain sphere grid. For sure, it was Gray Fox who found that sphere grid. Very smart. All right, this boss fight. Guess what we're doing, guys? Yep. Like I said, we're gonna see his animation a lot. He smacks 3 times this time. Casual 62k. You'd love to see that. And then second slap. If I didn't have that strength, there's a chance where my damage would be below 60k, which is how much health this third section has. So, because technically you could do this part without strength, but you would be like, it's pretty scary.
Any Megadeth fans?
Doesn't work on him.
Any Jimmy Neutron fans?
Brain Blast. Does like nothing. And it's over. Alright, so here we want any weapon drop right now. That would be really massive to us.
Of course. So I have to add an extra sphere grid at the very end of the game because of not getting a weapon there. The weapon inflicts zombie, and just like that boss earlier on, like the zombie Evray, will basically be exploiting that to one-shot a boss.
Yep. It's not the biggest deal. Just you can forget, and it's really pretty bad. All right. So the moment we get out of this, we're gonna go to for some immediate movement out of this room.
Yeah, at this point, the initial, like, reason you set off on your journey is completely dead, and everyone's, like, searching for a solution to get rid of Sin. And, Yuna and Kamari come up with the idea to go talk to someone at Beville, and basically you're gonna talk to, like, a ghostly kid. He's the Bahamut's like the Aeon version of that kid's faith, so it's kind of weird. Like, if you just picking up these story beads like scattered around like this, you're like, what is this?
Yeah, what am I doing?
Why does that matter? Like, this kid's been around since the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, he says you cried.
Calls you out for crying, and then
He's
comes
like-
to carry the game.
Yeah.
If you're not gonna do it, I will.
I love that line so much. Make sure you say yeah, I think so, and make sure you pick this up.
So-
Alright. And then we talk to Sid and we go to Sid. Alright.
The final show.
And these next few boss battles aren't anything like special at all. It's gonna be us summoning Bahamut and using a different move, Impulse, not Smacking, because it's too far away.
So yeah, basically get to see Sin in action here. And by in action, I mean doing nothing but being a flying sky whale.
Accurate.
Basically just hoping for a crit. And we'll go to the other side, hope for a crit. And that's about the extent of this.
Last night I did a run and I got 2 crits on this part, and my game crashed. My autosave was screwed. Hopefully it doesn't happen tonight. No way, right? It was actually weird because it was like I've never double crit this section before ever. So getting crit is really good. It saves about what would you say, 10 seconds?
Yeah, something like that.
Because you missed the impulse animation. Yeah, it's more Bahamut stuff. Just using impulse. No crits. Kind of just standard, honestly. Getting crit here is kind of hard.
Hey yo, quick time. Carrigs donated $36.88, taking us up exactly to $600. He said, "Here's to Jag and smashing the goal on day 1." Yeah, we fucking smashed it.
That's
We
awesome.
smashed it.
Let's go. That's amazing.
Exactly. They're just dollars alone.
Shoutouts to Riggs for that. Nice. Let's see. 88 cents. That's funny. That's funny. Oh yeah, we're gonna use impulse on that. The core instead. It completely ignoring the enemy. We call that enemy Jenny. Chronos keeps it. Oh, some more running. We're gonna run back to the top of the ship over and over again. And then guess what we're doing after that? I just really want you guys to guess what we're doing after that. So we're gonna talk to Yuna here. Home again.
Anyone with trypophobia, I advise you look away from Sin's face because it is covered in eyes that kind of look like holes.
It's pretty gross. Yeah, for more Bahamut. What a surprise.
I think you were supposed to summon Ifrit, but I'm not sure.
Oh, wait, really? Oh, wait. Uh-oh, wait. I think I messed up. Actually, I wonder how much damage Ifrit would even do here. That's a really bad roll. There's gonna be 2 more turns, guys. Yep. That sucks. Oh well. Your damage roll can be kind of good for the first part with the impulse, but if that happens, you know, you just can't do much. Alright, so we're almost done. Like I said, so we need to charge Riku's overdrive still. Something we need to do.
You got it from Defender Zed.
Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you. I forgot about Jolt Haymaker. Oh, I didn't check my party. Lulu's in. She says that?
So, how should we do this?
That was pretty funny.
Live and let live.
Alright, so we gotta get through this maze. It's pretty like when I first started learning this game, I would always get lost here. I still kinda get lost here.
It's very ambiguous where you can actually walk. Like, you want to stick to the water, but there's fog everywhere, and there's kind of like water in the fog, and that's just not even mentioning how many weird turns you have to make.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like even looking at the mini map, it can be kind of awkward.
Yeah, since you don't have the luxury of being able to see your minimap until you walk next to the part it's filling in, it's
isn't just a rock,
a
is
pain.
I'll be right back.
And not to mention the amount of encounters that we get in this section as well. You get a lot.
Yeah, it's especially hard to crunch and reduce your encounter rate when you have to really memorize
so
like the
easy on you next time.
nuanced pathing. See what I mean? You just
Yeah.
got your cameras swapped and then suddenly
It's
you're going
so-
back the way we came.
It's so awkward. But like I knew I was going the wrong way, so at least I already changed it. It's good.
I'll be right back.
Going the wrong way is definitely not something you never want to happen here. You gotta go back and then you gotta take more encounters. It's just not a good thing.
Live and let live.
You know, I thought about it. This game has so many Mario Party mini games in it. We're about to have another one coming up.
I won't go so easy on you next time. Live and let live.
One of the biggest drawbacks about cutscene remover is that music bug also happens for Seymour's theme. You won't be able to hear one of the best pieces of music. Unfortunately.
It's very sad. you lose a lot of the amazing songs in this game. You don't even hear Too American like at all in this game. All right.
I'll be right back.
The whole purpose of getting the Luck and Fortune Sphere was to remove the possibility of like 3% misses for Bahamut. Now, Tidus needs to land a hit here because he needs to break Seymour's armor, otherwise you do like 10% of his max HP and damage, and that has a 3% chance to miss.
Let's see it. Nice.
Okay. That's how the fight goes 97% of the time.
And guess what we're doing?
If you miss him, like, you have to do so many roundabout turns to keep your party afloat. It loses so much time.
And look at 96k. If I didn't do the armor break, it would do like 14k. It's so. But yeah, that's the reason why I kept ordering the party, Isabel, is if Tidus were to miss, I could just still use Wiki's overdrive to save it, but it's something you don't ever want to do anyways. Yeah, level 18, that's good. Alright, we're coming to the very end almost.
Live and let live.
There's a lot more escapes.
Live and let live.
I accidentally got an encounter on that middle thing right there, and I had to write it up. It's pretty bad. I didn't know you could do that. It's pretty funny.
Live and let live.
This is the final stretch of movement-based random encounters. You just have to get through this, and then the encounters aren't over because you can see them coming, but not really in the next bit of the game.
Yeah, like I said, it's Mario Party, guys. Like straight up.
I won't go so easy on you next time.
This
Guys,
is
who likes eggs?
Nucleus. We have to find 10 eggs. They drop from like these wisps, come down. You can see it sort of forming the egg, and that's like your first visual cue as to where to go. But look at this camera. It's tilting, it's panning, it's doing everything in its power to obscure the.
Oh my god! Oh!
It's very, very easy to just wander into a icicle you couldn't even see.
Exactly. Oh my god, where is it? Oh, there it is.
So yeah, you want to be moving into the camera as much as possible,
Oh,
but then
look
that
what
can happen.
happens exactly. Just like there's no winning with this game, you know.
It's very difficult, like a balancing act of I'm trying to see where I'm going, but also not get an encounter.
Yeah, and you're trying to go fast too, and that's pretty cool. Can I get this, please? Nice.
2 more to go.
Oh, I believe. Yes, one more. Please. Okay, not bad eggs, not bad eggs. One encounter.
This is the final menu of the game. Tidus needs to get zombie attack because he can get a drop from Unalesca, and you conveniently picked up an attribute sphere from the eggs to be used in the final grid, giving just enough speed, literally just enough speed to outspeed the final boss.
It's pretty wild how precise this is.
So yeah, it's practically guaranteed that Titus will land a zombie attack when he needs to, and Yuna gets the last bit of agility she needs. She's strong enough. She just needs speed at this point. And we're going to be picking up a very special ability called Spare Change, which is integral. Otherwise, it's very inconsistent. And topping it off with the +3 attribute sphere. 47 agility, which is literally just enough. 46 doesn't work. 47 is the magic number.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, if you don't have that one speed, it's just like, you're just not gonna be able. You need to pray for this fight to go well. All right, bangers right here. This song is gonna affected. Thank goodness.
Last mix. Full break on the final boss.
And then we summon the lad.
Yeah, that the primary reason behind the overdrive was to break its armor, and now you can do this amount of damage. Otherwise, you're doing like 30k. But it's not over yet because this thing has 2 forms. Oh, and really important thing too was Titus talking to get rid of one of Brassia's final Aeon's turns.
Yeah. And then another big thing is there's a 20% chance that he uses a move called Jet Beam, and if that happens, we're saving like 30 seconds straight up. It's completely random. So we're gonna see it right now. If he uses Jet Beam, we're popping off. Oh my god!
There it is.
Let's go!
Easy, bro. Easy.
This run was great. This run was so lucky.
This one was so good, actually. What? That's wild. Yeah, I wish I had a timer out. This one was really good. Even with me kicking the blitz ball and Mihen. That brought me the good luck, you know?
So the final climax of the story, we need to summon these Aeons and have the final boss, the final lore boss, Yu Yevon, possess all of them until there's nothing left to possess. And they have extremely high evasion. So we're going to use Spare Change and pay them to stop.
A funny way to say it, yeah, you're just bribing them.
Paying their dues, man. They helped out. I mean, most of them did. Half of them did.
Not Shiva, not Ifrit.
It can't be overstated how high their evasion is. Like, you'll try and hit Valifor 10 times between Yuna and Titus, and you just cannot kill it.
You're never doing it.
Not to mention that, like, these are the hyper buff 70 strength Aeons, and they'll do quad 90 your whole party. You can't.
I don't want to mess with them at all.
You can't game over, but you can die and have to get back up, and then, you know, keep throwing your face into the brick wall. So yeah, you just need 20,000 gil for Valifor, 30k for Ifrit and Ixion, 20k for Shivo, 30k for Bahamut.
And unfortunately, their settings aren't changed to Aeon Summon Short. So we have to watch the whole entire thing every single time. Now we get to see Shiva, who we didn't see the whole entire game. You can actually use Shiva instead of Ixion in the maze, but like slower. These are fun, honestly. And the same deal, just destined to follow them. Shiva's very low on her HP though, which is good.
Saving our boy for last.
Yes, we're gonna give him the most money because he did all the work in this run. At the end game, mainly. I'm just happy we didn't get like destroyed in Thunder Plains this whole run. That's amazing. There you go. We're gonna give Bahamut all our money. Cause why not? All right, guys, and time is gonna come up soon.
Yep. Once as soon as the camera changes after Yuna uses Phoenix down, that's when time hits.
The zombie attack, we're gonna give Yevon the zombie status. And then Phoenix down. Alright, it's coming. Time.
G fucking G, dude.
What a great run. That was a really good one. I'm happy. I'm really happy about that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a great, fun time. Airlium, thank you so much for commentating.
Oh, no problem. Thanks, Lines, for letting us have a run at a good time of day.
Yeah, and thanks Apache for weighing in too. It was great.
Standard, mate.
Loved it.
Standard.
Yeah.
Sergeant is right, though. You were overestimate, so I think you should reset and go back to the beginning and do it again.
Go and do Blitzball again? No, I was kidding.